Okay, we live. Peace
All
and
right.
family.
Peace and love, Black African Power and Intelligence. We have with us tonight our good brother Netaneb. That is a real linguist, not somebody who regurgitates nonsense on Facebook or on any other platform. This brother really puts in work. Um, I've witnessed this brother's work on Facebook for quite some time now, and I've never seen him fail when it comes to these type of things. Brother puts in a lot of hours of work dealing with linguistics. So we're going to let the brother have the floor and expose the nonsense and actually educate the people with truth. So go ahead, brother. We're listening to you.
All right. Peace to everyone. That's a little background on myself. I met the brother Donald, a young brother who I like. I like him, and he has basic knowledge of historical linguistics, and that's why I came on because that young brother. I mean, it's shocking to know, the youth is getting into historical linguistics because that is very important for our people. Just a little background. I'm a research associate, meaning I'm a partnership with Dr. Nazir Sati, PhD. He's a linguistic professor from the University of Khartoum, and
Mm,
he asked me to reconstruct. He asked me to compare his indigenous Nubian language. He knows 5 Nubian languages because he indigenous Nubian, and he wanted me to compare Nubian language with Nubian Dongalawi with Medu Nature, Old Egyptian,
mm,
and we were successful. So I just a little background. I did a submission to the Ghana Journal of Linguistics, and my first submission failed, which is excellent because when you submit your paper, and Brother Donald, know I teach to submit your paper scientifically. That's what researchers does. So the first
yes.
submission after the peer review got denied because he said not because of the work, it's because I didn't use enough languages. I only used Nubian, Dongalawi, and Medu Neter. Then I used transliteration. So a lot of people don't know that you can't compare transliterations with living sound. I was the ones who didn't know, even though I was a student of Dr. Richetti, and I still didn't know. You know what I mean? So further the conversation, the second submission went kind of well. He said, "This is excellent," but he said you must write it a certain way. You must write it at APA standard. See what I mean? So
Mm,
APA standard is what I try to teach brothers who are trying to say that Hebrew and Bantu is connected, or Sumerian and Chinese is connected, or Native American, Mayan, and some other weird language is connected. I say, you do it on Facebook, doesn't matter. You have to really submit your work, and one paper can take up to 10 years. Uh,
right.
my paper, we've been working on my paper for 3 years. You get what I mean? So my paper now, we at the final submission. You have 3 times to strike out in scientific linguistic journals. So we are at the last submission. So this is what I did. I added 6 languages, Black African languages. I added Southwestern Dinka. I
Mm,
added Nubian Dongalawi. I added Coptic. I added what's the other Dogon language. I added Demotic, and then I added Old Egyptian. We think what is falsely called Old Egyptian, but it's really called the Medu Neter. So that's
right.
6. So we are in our final stages. We should be submitting within the next 2 weeks. And this is a big thing. This is the first in history that a black person or a black
Mm.
research group has reconstructed Medu Neter. So that's a big
Listen, man.
thing.
Let me. We definitely gotta congratulate you on that. To be the first of us Black African people to do such a thing.
Yeah.
That is an amazing thing because oftentimes we are held bound to a false image about ourselves or false information concerning Black African people that we are not intelligent,
Yeah.
that we are, that we are not adequate enough to do such things. So it is a great thing to hear that you are accomplishing something like that. And we want to just ask you to be sure to send us that once all of that is finalized, because we're going to push that, and we're going to push that hard, because our community needs information. We need, as Black African people, we weren't just people just running around wild like you would hear some people who are uneducated say, especially these religious people who like to downplay us and call us this imaginary person called Ham or something like that. We are people who are the progenitors of science, math, writing, all of these different things. Without us, the world would not have a foundational substance to grow upon.
Correct, brother. So,
we really thank you for that, and just be sure to send us that so we can promote that and push that hard. And I'm definitely going to read that, because I'm about the knowledge.
Yes, I'm about to share. Let me share my screen. I think I can share it. Let's see. Let's share my screen. All right. Shoot, man. Okay. Do y'all see this?
Yes, we see it, brother.
Yeah, this is the Ghana Journal of Linguistics. This is my name, Kennard D. Hartley. Of course, I went through a lot to get here. I didn't even want to do this work. I was a gangbanger at one point in time in my life. And Dr. Ricchetti said, look, I like you. And she said, I want to teach you. She taught me free for years. So I got out the gangbanger culture in Baltimore City, and I dedicated my time to comparative linguistics because I always liked the way street guys talk. And Dr. Ricchetti said that the way we talk is similar to the Medu Netra, how our people up the Nile Valley and other African people across the continent talk. And that's how I got into the languages. So this is a receipt of the pre-review discussion. When you have people talking about Hebrew and Bantu, you have to submit that. Facebook, it won't go nowhere. I would just ignore it. It means nothing. But like the brother said, it's very confusing to people who trying to find the truth, and then you have people who are liars. So this is how you catch a liar, or a linguistic liar. The first thing you ask them is, do you have a paper submission or a paper pending of Hebrew and Bantu being scientifically scrutinized in a linguistic journal? See, a credible linguistic journal. And if they don't, you block them, or you tell people that they are making stuff up. And majority of the people make stuff up, and some people just are ignorant and don't know because of religion. You know what I mean? They want the black thing with religion. So this is the first thing as Africans we have to recognize, is that we are scientists. So we must attack racism. We must attack even with coronavirus. If you are a genius at herbs, start writing papers so you can help the world. So this is what I'll put this here, not to waste time, but I'll put this here to show people that you can do this. If I can, come on, man. Think about it. If I can, I know you can do better than saying Hebrew and Bantu. Come on, let's be real. Hebrew and Kikuyu or Kikuyu? Are you crazy? Where is the scientific paper for that? So us linguists can review it and debate it if we have to. Where is it at? So for those who say that Hebrew and Bantu is genetically related or have a common parent ancestor, you must publish your paper. And then when you publish your paper, please show people the review section. Show where it will not get accepted. I know it won't get accepted because there are two languages and two different language bylaws.
Exactly.
All right, I'll stop sharing that. Hebrew, 4th millennium. At the beginning of it, the oldest 4th millennium stretches back to Arabia. See, Arabia. Hebrew, like the sister said, I think I seen the sister's post. She said it's a mix between Yiddish and some German crap. I disagree with that, but at the same time, I agree. This is why I agree, because she is talking about modern Hebrew being reconstructed. We know that
Yes.
Semitic languages like Hebrew doesn't have a pronunciation system. See, it is like Medu Neter. So what they did is reconstructed as a revival of Hebrew. So anyone can look up the revival of Hebrew and how they reconstructed Hebrew, like the sister was talking about.
Yes.
So the sister is correct. It's not mixed. The only reason why I say that she's incorrect, because there's no such thing as mixed languages. It's either a language is genetically inherited, derived, or a language is not genetically inherited or revived. Aerial diffusion caused people to come together, which cause a typological mixture of language. See what I mean? So the sister is correct, but the little nuances is where when you publish for journals, they're gonna be asking you stuff like that, like aerial diffusion. So Hebrew and Bantu are two separate languages, right? One, Hebrew is reconstructed, like the sister said. That's true. Hebrew is a man-made spoken language. Nobody knows how Hebrew sounds. Nobody knows how it sounds. The Europeans had to reconstruct it to make it a speaking language, like we are reviving Medu Neter, the same with Black African languages. See? So that's where we get into the history of modern Hebrew. Ancient Hebrew, which go back to 4th millennium BC. Very old. Yes, I agree. But is it related genetically, or is it have some type of typological similarity? See? So it's two different. When you go to linguistic textbook, you find that there's 3 types of similarities. 3 types. One type is by chance. One type is by this group may be far away in America, South America, and then you have a group that is in Nubia. In this group of languages may have a word like papa, and that may sound like father. And then you may have a word in South America like pipa or pa or papa. So those words are considered onomatopoeia, and those words are considered chance similarities. It's a something chance. See what I mean? So when a baby come out, they papa, they make those plosive sounds. So it could be by chance. Now you have another similarity, which you're talking about, topological. The topological similarities is this. Just as you said and spoken is accurate. You said that, okay, this word may be similar to this word. Does that make that word the same? How we know that these words are the same? What method can we utilize to determine whether these two words in these two different languages are the same, right? Now, the method we utilize is twofold. We use a method called multilateral comparative analysis, which is a probing or probabilistic type of methodology, meaning that it probes to see the putative nature of these languages, to see if they can be related. See, this is the method where most pseudo-linguists use to say it's a genetic relationship because I compared 300 words and all of those 300 words look alike, but they are not keeping in mind aerial diffusion. Aerial diffusion is where two people come in contact, and over the years of 500, say y'all in contact for 500 years, your women sleep with my woman, I sleep with your woman, sleep with our men, and next thing you know, we have a type of typological mixture of the languages, which is caused by aerial diffusion and pillow talk with sex. See?
Right.
Now, these type of typological similarities, they do look similar. But this is where linguistics adopted genetics, biology, and phylogenetic trees. In phylogenetic trees, in the model of biology, is that you can have two people that look just alike. See? They look just alike. They act just alike. I mean, they got the same eyebrows, lips, teeth. You be like, wow, y'all can be twins. But let's make them genetically in DNA, within the intricate details of their DNA, the exact same.
So it's kind of like, when we're dealing with the exact example that you just gave. So if we're dealing with phenotype and genotype.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Wow. Language is dope. Go ahead. My fault. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man.
Yes. That's good. I like that. See, that is called genetic. This is where we use the word genetic. We use the word genetic in linguistics not because we study genetic. We study a little bit of it, meaning that the phylogenetic trees and the methodology of some of it, but we don't do genetic work. We do linguistic work with sounds. So these sounds have the same thing dealing with humans. Some sounds could be just alike. They can sound just alike. You'd be like, wow, this word is the same word as this. This means we are the same people. That is false. That is the same thing with phenotype. All right. Now,
Right.
genetic inheritance. So you have typological similarity, and then you have genetic inheritance. Again, typological similarities. I can have a word, for instance, let's say, let me see a borrowing. Let's use the word Egypt. I like to get into the word Egypt. In Greek, the Greeks borrowed the word Egyptos, right? Or hika ka or hika hat ka pata. The soul of the temple of Ptah, or the temple of the soul of Ptah. And the Greeks had a hard time understanding that. And what they did was did folk etymology by reconstructing the word, and then they borrowed the word, being that it was a temple in Kemet that they visited. They made the whole region called Egypt. And they borrowed that term and changed the definition of the term. That's called a cultural diffusion or oral diffusion, where two groups of people meet and they exchange vocabulary items. That's called borrowings, linguistic borrowings. All right. Kikuyu, when I did the comparisons of Kikuyu in Hebrew, the Kikuyu in Hebrew, I did the comparisons with over like, 300-400 basic words. Now, how would me and you and other people not be accustomed to borrowing? We have to use a method called using basic vocabulary items, because we have to remember that basic vocabulary items cannot be borrowed. Y'all know that, right?
Right.
They are the only items that can't be borrowed from group to group. The only way another group can borrow a basic word from your group is that by chance. See, by chance. It's just, yeah, we say the same word. Oh, okay, damn, that's cool. See, that's by chance. Now, when we compare, there's two type of words. You have cultural words and you have basic words. And this is going to go into Hebrew and Kikuyu. Watch this. Now, when you have cultural vocabulary words, you know you're dealing with borrowing. If you see in Hebrew a cultured word, which is a word that is not basic, a basic word will be body parts, private parts, your head, your brain, your tongue, your eyes, the sun, water, to eat, verbs, basic words like that you don't need to borrow from someone else as being a human in evolution. See, in evolution, human groups migrated to certain places and they took their own mind with them. So as time goes through thousands and thousands of years, people begin to make their own words for their own body parts. I don't need to take your body part and say, hold up, Ronald, give me that word for my body part. I'm going to take your word for my damn body part. I'm going to name my own body part. So that means that basic words don't get borrowed. When we look at the analysts of Hebrew and we look at the analysts of Kikuyu, we cannot, it is impossible linguistically with the comparative linguistic method to compare over 300 cases. See, it's a method to the madness. You have to compare over 300 words for me to accept it. Some linguists are harder than that. Some linguists are 500. And those words have to be all basic vocabulary items, like your brain, like your hair, like your body, your body parts, the air, which you call the sun. Everybody has their own basic vocabulary for the sun. We don't need to borrow that from other human groups or each other. You would name the sun what you name that motherfucker. And excuse my language, and I will name it what I name it. So I will have no reason to borrow the sun, because the sun is seen with everybody. This is historical linguistics 101.
Right.
Now, with Hebrew and Kikuyu, we automatically find that there is a high number of frequencies of not basic vocabulary borrowings, but cultural borrowing. So this means that these group of people came in contact, and once they came in contact with each other, they borrowed each other's culture. And that happens all the time in historical linguistics.
Correct.
It's normal. So these are the similarities that they are seeing, and they are confusing those typological similarities just because something look alike don't make it is with a genetic similarity, which means that they both share the same common parent or common ancestor languages. Now, when we look to Britannica, let's go to Britannica real quick.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's go to the Britannica. We go to Britannica. We can look up Hebrew. Let's look up Hebrew, and where do they put? Britannica is one of the best online outlets for people to go. So let's see.
Hebrew language, origin, history, and facts.
Can you pull up Afro-Asiatic in the Britannica so we can find where Hebrew?
Okay.
I think it's in the northwest Semitic branch.
Yeah, I think that's what they have it as.
It is?
Let me see here. Hold on 1 second. So I'm at Britannica.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see. Find this here. Let me see here. 1 second. So it says Afro-Asiatic languages, also called Afro-Asian.
Yes.
Formerly Hemito-Semitic, Semito-Hamitic, or Etherian languages of common origin found in the northern part of Africa in the Arabian Peninsula, and some islands and adjacent areas in Western Asia. And that would be referring to the same area that you were just talking about when it talks about Western Asia.
Correct. Now, do you see my screen here?
1 second. Hey, sis, can you see a screen? Oh, there we go. It's popping up. There we go.
This is the Encyclopedia Britannica, which is the one of the most credible things online. When you look up things, you always go to the Britannica. All right. Here it is. Afro-Asiatic people. And you notice they don't call that a phylum. I mean, a family. They call that a phylum. A family and a phylum are two different things. Y'all get my drift. I'm going to share a linguistic textbook page for y'all as well. But this is a phylum, people. Phylums don't mean that. Phylum is an assumption. Yeah, I hope the audience know this.
Yes.
This is why our work is pending in a journal, because we can attack it, because it is a phylum. It is not 100% accurate. It has been disputed to be corrupted. Why is it corrupted? Because Medinetra is not related to Semitic languages. See, you cannot have when we linguists build language families. We don't want to build a phylum. We want to build a family of language of genetic. All the languages and branches are genetically related. I mean, that's fair.
Right.
Just like they did Indo-European. So why can they do Indo-European with Sanskrit as the mother tongue and all of the other living European languages? But when it comes to Africa, they divide and conquer us through language.
Right.
They speak Niger Congo there. They speak that, but when it comes to Indo-European, all of them are clustered. Genetically, though, they did good as work. And no lie, they did excellent work with Indo-European, the Indo-European language family.
Right.
Excellent work. But when it comes to Afro-Asiatic, Afroasiatic is not of the same method that was built for Indo-European. So now you have branches within Afroasiatic, which is here. It's a linguists generally recognize 6 divisions with the Afro-Asiatic phylum. Amazigh, which is not related. See what I mean? They just cluster us with no work, with no
Right.
Extensive or tedious method as they did in the European. They just cluster our ass like they do today. Oh, he black, he look like him. Oh no, all niggers look the same.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's kind of like they committed like scientific or so-called scientific stereotype.
Correct. And they use the improper method in comparing African languages. This is why I'm gonna show you a sneak peek at some work I have done, because this is fair. If they can do it with their language and they can do the comparative method, why can't we do it with our language? We can do the same thing. We can have Medu Nature as the mother tongue, like they have Sanskrit as the mother tongue. So
right.
we can compare. It's not nothing wrong. I don't want Africans to feel like we have to compare Semitic languages. Some Africans feel like they have to compare Semitic for them to get accepted. No, you can only strictly deal with Black African language.
And that all goes back to that Hamitic hypothesis thing. We seem to valorize that which has broke us.
Yeah.
You know, so we feel as though if we're not related, if we don't connect ourselves to places in the Middle East, Levant, or the Arabian area, we feel as though that we're not worth anything.
Correct. That's why, Dr. Upenga, young brother, that's why I like you, man, because you have binocular vision, right?
Right.
In third eye, have binocular vision. You see it.
Yep.
You see what's going on. You see that, okay, they did well with Indo-European, but when it comes to Blacks, they do us like they do all the time. They stereotype us and just throw us in a basket. And that's how they did our languages.
Right.
So let's read here. It says, linguists generally recognize 6 divisions within Afro-Asiatic phylum: Amazigh, Chadic, Cushitic, Egyptian, Omotic, and Semitic. These divisions differ in both the number of languages and the degree of genetic relationship as measured in terms of common inherited vocabulary and shared grammatical features. Issues considered at further length below. The degree of kinship between the divisions or subdivisions appears to be much more remote than that between the branches of Indo-European. Y'all see my point? Y'all see what I'm saying? See? The difference are because Indo-European, they did a very good job. And the languages were in close proximity, and they did a good job, whereas though Afro-Asiatic languages were remote. They were just comparing Semitic, and they wanted to get Kemet out of Africa and put it in Asia. All of this is racism, really.
And if you exactly, and that's what I explain to people in regards to, we're not just at a religious war, right? We're not just at a religious war, but you often point out we're at a scientific war, right? Linguistically, genetically, and all of these different things, because when you study a Hamitic hypothesis, the objective of these people from the Mediterranean or the Middle Eastern area was to say, no, we are the pupil of the world.
Yes. You're correct. Now it says the degree of kinship. Now, what measures a degree of kinship? Is either your language is genetically related or it's not. It's not, no, I'm this degree of closer to you. No, that's not how linguistic goes. So this is why I'm gonna show y'all from an actual linguistic textbook, Demodar 2011, and I'm gonna show y'all what method these language filers are created from. But let's get into it. It says the degree of kinship between divisions and subdivisions appears to be much more remote than that between the branches of Indo-European. However, none of the existing proposals concerning the relationship of divisions within the phylum can be considered final. Y'all see that, right?
Yep.
It's nothing that is I'm making this up, or is I'm seeing this with my own eyes.
This is the blunt truth, and our people need it. Blunt truth.
See, look. However, none of the existing proposals concerning the relationship of divisions within the phylum can be considered final. See, these phylums are not related to each other. This is why me, Dr. Sati, Dr. Raketti Amin, Dr. Jope, Dr. Theophile Binga, Dr. Mario Beatty, Dr. Eileen Anselin, Dr. Baba Saw, all of these African giants rejected it. Even European linguists reject it. But you have blacks promoting it. I don't understand it. European linguists don't agree with this. Afro-Asiatic. It's problematic. Now, neither is there general agreement as to the subdivisions within the 6 major divisions. Did y'all see this?
Yes.
Neither is there general agreement with Afro-Asiatic. European linguists, as well as African linguists, do not agree with Afro-Asiatic at all.
Right.
There's no general consensus or agreement to Afro-Asiatic. Blacks should stop promoting it because it was birthed out of the Hamitic hypothesis. The Hamitic hypothesis, it was first called Hemito-Semitic, and it was a racist language phylum. For fact.
Absolutely. That's a fact.
Okay, let's continue. Some authors, for lack of robust evidence for subclassification, still follow Greenberg. Do y'all see this? See, some authors, for lack, I have to tell y'all this because this history of why people do certain things. See, some authors, for lack of robust evidence for subclassification, still follow Greenberg by accepting 5 coordinate branches within Afro-Asiatic, or 6, including Omatic, in a separate family. Others may favor a series of binary subdivisions, as such those represented in accompanying geology. It's so much disagreement. Now here, let's go. Here, right? This is the language family. This is how they break it up into branches. However, you have Afro-Asiatic, which is not a valid. We already read. There's no agreement. The proposals are not final. There's no papers finalizing that this is established. It's nothing. It's just this was created from racism, and they still are using topological methods to build it. They don't want to give up their racist language phylum. All right. Now, in a second, you have Berber, which is under the Limco-Chadic, Egyptian, and then you have Semitic. And then you have Semitic, Egypto-Semitic, which these two are not even related to each other. But yet then they break off, and then you have Semitic, and then you have Hebrew. So this means that Hebrew is in the Semitic language, and you do not find Bantu nowhere near in hell around this area.
Exactly.
Hey, can I ask y'all a question though, real quick? Hey, peace to everybody in the room.
Peace. Who's
Can
this?
y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Hey
who's
man,
this?
peace to everybody in the room and what have you stuff. Hey Neb, man, and the brother that's prior to you and what have you stuff. Hey Neb, man, I like your fire, I like your veneer and what have you stuff that you projecting in the broadcast of how you educating everybody on linguistics and what have you stuff. I'm part of the interruption. What have you, this cuckoo cutter. I'm just gonna ask you. I mean, if you can summarize. What's the purpose? I mean, y'all breaking it down and what have you stuff about linguistics and about language and what have you and stuff.
Right.
Real quick, can you? I'm part of the interruption.
Yeah.
For the sake of the room and for me as well and what have you and stuff. I enter the room and what have you, and I want to eventually in the future engage and have this dialogue. But Neb, the way I can tell you very educated about linguistics and what have you and stuff, and I love the way you breaking it down, man. I like your cohesion, I like your flow, I like your harmony and what have you and stuff. But what is the topic, real quick? I should ask. What's up, brother?
Yes, good question. The topic is Hebrew genetically related to Kikuyu, making it an African language.
Well, can I just say this? It is very difficult. Well, I can say from the get-go and what have you stuff is genetics. It's very difficult to like intertwining linguistics and genetics. Those are two different foreign things. Those are intertwined when you do archaeology and when you want to utilize historicity of understanding things and what have you stuff.
Right.
You know,
I agree with you.
yeah,
I agree with you. So we're not talking about genetics here. I'm talking about the historical linguistic method. I'm talking about.
Well, hold on, brother. He just said genetics and linguistics.
No, brother, bro. No.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yes. Please understand that me, as a historical linguist, we borrow terms from biology. We borrowed the phylogenetic tree model to create family trees. This is how this came about. This only could come about through a linguistic genetic relationship. When we say genetic, my brother, this is the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Okay.
Right? So when we say genetic, we are not saying biology. We don't mix. You cannot mix linguistic evidence with biological evidence. Those two are two different fields. I am not a biologist. I am a historical linguist and a Egyptian transliterator and translator. So I deal with that topic. I don't deal with biology. We just have terms, right, that we use that have the same type of terminology, and we borrow it as an analogy. That is all. So when we say a language family and we build a language family, it's the same way how genetic and biology build genetic family. That's the only thing we have borrowed from biology, brother. So you are correct, but that is not the topic here. The topic here is Hebrew, a Black African language. Did it originate? Is it a Hermat? In linguistics, we call it a Hermat. A Hermat is it the homeland? Is Hebrew homeland Africa? And is it Africa? Is it related?
Okay, hey, quit with the preambles and put it in a nutshell. Is Hebrew African?
Yes, but you can't just put it in a nutshell. Is Hebrew genetically related first, and then you have
no. Hold on, bro. I'm confused, man. As much as you educated and whatever, I like your words and whatever stuff. Is Hebrew directly from an African influence and African origin? Okay, I know it sounds like I'm coming from two phylums. Is Hebrew directly? Is it a Hebrew a transfer? Did it transpire? Did it develop? Is it an African origin? Yes, we understand the Afro-Asiatic, what have you, those that are educated about this goddamn linguistic. Is Hebrew straight directly from Africans? Yes or no?
Brother, it can't.
Yes or no?
Brother, it cannot be a yes or no answer to. I finished where I was trying to tell the brothers of methodology. They have to know methodology, and then I will answer. I'm not going to answer it in the middle of my demonstration here. So I say you wait, and then I will answer directly. Okay? Is that fair?
No, ill disruption. That's my intent, what have you stuff.
Right.
Go ahead and flow there, brother. I apologize for that, man.
No, you good, brother.
I meant well, but I came to coming into this forum there, brother.
Right. Exactly. Now, all right. It says, here go the brother Donald and the audience here. Y'all see the Britannica, which I say y'all always go to the Britannica for linguistic. And when you say proven genetic relationship, problems of internal comparison. See, they are not my words. Afro-Asiatic, the language phylum have major issues with its internal comparative analysis. All right. So you have linguists use a set of methods which they compare languages with modern and ancient in order to establish genetically related language groups. The application of such methods involves the systematic analysis of the phonology sound systems vocabularies, and grammar of the language in question. For the audience, this means that it is twofold where we have to establish a genetic relationship. We have to establish with the phonology, which is the speech, like pup, tup, cup. We have to establish with speech, and then we have to establish with morphology, which is the way we are speaking. See, that is called the grammar or morphological comparative analysis. So there are two types. You have speech and you have morphology. Okay, so when you see people comparing Hebrew and Kikuyu, they will only give you cultural words that is susceptible to be borrowed, and then you'll have Kikuyu, and it shows that they are the same because of the contact of those groups, but they will never show you morphology. It takes more than just topological similarities. You have to show morphology. Then you have to show at least 300 to 500 basic vocabulary items. That never was done in any scientific publication. See? So let's continue. It says the products of such comparisons are called reconstructions and are indicated by placing an asterisk in front of the word or sound symbol. They describe a hypothetical common parent language and its individual daughter language, or a hypothetical common sound of origin. Languages are said to be genetic related when they meet two criteria. Didn't I just spoke about the two criteria? They match phonology, vocabulary, and grammar. Not just this word look like this Kikuyu word look like this Hebrew word, so they're the same. Oh, we have 300 Kikuyu words with 300 Hebrew words that they look alike. They're the same. No way. It's two criteria. Two criteria. All right. We know that there's two criterions, and if they are not showing the criterion, you must ask them, okay, can you show me two criterion? The morphology and the phonology. See what I mean? These are rules. These are rules. Now it says, and the matches can be determined not to have resulted from chance resemblance. Remember, chance, y'all, we know what chance is. Chance resemblance.
Absolutely.
All right. Or previous contact between genetically related language. We talked about that. Aerial diffusion. All right. So I want y'all to know I'm on point. Now it says solid comparative methods, although generally eliminating, are for several reasons difficult to apply with to languages and divisions within Afroasiatic phylum. Hey, Brother Donald, can you read this? Read what's highlighted here. This is right important.
1 second. Talking about where it starts off, it says solid, right?
Yep, read that. Okay.
Solid comparative methods, although generally illuminating, are for several reasons difficult to apply to the languages and divisions within the Afro-Asiatic phylum. And as you explained to the people already, a phylum is not concrete. It is not a family.
Yes. See that? You see how brothers do Google search and they don't read everything? They just miss with certain things.
They don't have the correct method of research. That's what's going on here.
So they'll read something, my brother, and they'll say, "Oh, we see similarity," and then they say, "Oh," and then they jump out and say, "Oh, it's eliminating. This is groundbreaking." But they don't show the methodology. They don't even know that Afroasiatic itself is problematic. They don't know this.
Exactly.
They think that it is official. Where this is white man here. This is white man. White man said this.
In the way that these people view our Black African languages, they view it with the same mind that they viewed us dealing with the Hermetic hypothesis. They view the people in the Nile Valley because of all the structures they built, and in the North African regions, all the things they built. So when they come to the sub-Saharan level, they like, well, they don't have that down here. They looked at us as inferior. Everything about us, they look at as inferior.
Yeah.
So this is why you see them do the things that you see Brother Netaneb exposing right here.
Now, as the Brother Donald explained, these are problems. See, I have to go here first before I say what I have to say, because people have to know, like Brother Donald is saying, is that Afroasiatic was built from racism. it was built to separate African people along the Nile Valley and African people within inner Africa, take the Nile Valley region from inner Africa and reverse it to out of Africa to Asia. See?
Right.
Using the Bible. Using the Bible.
Woo!
Because they named the language family phylum of Afroasiatic Hemito-Semitic. How the hell can you name a living language? Languages help man evolve. This is a historical linguistic. Without languages, we wouldn't be able to evolve. See, so languages help man to evolve. Languages are living creatures. They are living. Yes. In our mind, we have a whole brain in our mind, a part of our brain that contains language. Our brain, everything was evolved for us to speak and communicate. This would make us so much of a dangerous mammal to other groups of animals with our language skills.
Yes.
Now, these language skills, you have issues with Afroasiatic. I just want people to know that they are parading around Afroasiatic, but I mean, even a white man said there's issues. They don't agree with it. There's problems. In there problems with it, and Donald just read some of it, and then it say the vast majority of Afro-Asian languages are living languages without any written documents that will foster insights regarding the changes that inevitably occur over time. See, though there are exceptions to the general rule in some Semitic languages and Egyptian. All right, so it's some. So let's go to a second problem. A second problem is referred to among linguists as Semitic bias. The languages within the Semitic family are relatively homogeneous, which has caused some scholars to identify the family with a set of characteristic speech sounds and features of grammar, a Semitic type, that they believe extends beyond the limits of the family itself. In light of a great age of Semitic attestations, they carry this notion a step further into the discussion of the hypothetical ancestral language. The result, at least for them, is that Proto-Afroasiatic comes to resemble a Semitic type of language. Do y'all see this? This means that Medu Neter is Semitic. That's what that means. It's an Asiatic origin. It has a it would sound more Semitic. So there are problems with this language phylum from the beginning. Look at all these complications to it. And this from European. This ain't from African linguists. This is from European linguists who put this type of information on in an encyclopedia. And there are, as I said before, there are problems proving the genetic relationship, and there are problems of internal comparison. You can't, in the Semitic languages, it's impossible to compare with Medu Neter. You can't, those two are incomparable. You cannot compare it other than typological surface featuring. Now, when it comes to Hebrew, let's go to Semitic, and we look at Hebrew. This is why this was important. I don't mean to bore y'all. This is linguistics. Linguistics is
no, you good, brother. You good. Teach.
Let's see. I don't Semitic languages. Okay.
So basically, brother, this is G-Con, another nap. So basically, when you say type, are you talking about as far as like the scripts or something? Like the scripts are somewhat similar as far as like different symbols that they're using?
No, scripts are not linguistic. Scripts are just dealing with writing. I think that the Hebrew script came out of Africa. Yes, the Hebrew script, in my opinion, derived out of Africa. It didn't originate in Africa, but I believe that we were the first with writing, and that means that we are the first with writing. The Phoenician was birthed from writing out of Africa, and then from Phoenician, and then the Canaanite, and then the Hebraic script. But that's a different topic here. This is linguistic.
Right, the reason why I asked you that question is because I think the script is something that is definitely important, because a person can speak a language, and they can speak a language and have but also have a script that they go about to bring for right to understand each other. And I think that when you look at the relationship between the meta nature, and then when you start to look at certain the scripts that the Hebrews was using, some of the symbols are definitely,
well, as I said, you're incorrect. As I said, simple is that, let me give you an example why you're incorrect here and why it means nothing in a genetic relationship in language fiber. Why scripts absolutely means nothing. This is why I say, let's go to African people in Africa right now today. Right now, a lot of people in Africa, right, uses the Arabic script, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but do that mean they speak in Arabic?
No, that doesn't mean they speak that.
Correct. So this is the point of why just because you use an African script doesn't mean the people is speaking an African language. It's the same today. For example, if we're using letters of the English alphabet, we use letters. We use letters all day long. We use letters. We adopt different letters. We got people in different countries. They're using Arabic. They're using Arabic script. They're translating Bibles in their own language. They're using Arabic script to translate Qurans, and inside the Quran is translated within their own language. So that's what scripts means nothing. So we're
right, that's what I was asking you, like the relationship between this.
There's no relationship.
So when it comes to script, because you just said that the script comes up out of Africa.
Yes.
So how is there no relationship with the script coming up out of Africa?
Because it's the same way today, brother. I just gave you an example.
Right? No, you gave me I'm saying right, you did, but I'm saying that you gave me an example of which I prior to just gave you that. You can speak a different language, but have the same script. So I said, is the script that we see that deals with the because you see you have the Phoenician script, right?
Yes.
So the script that we see that is of meta nature, like for instance, when you start dealing with some of the types in the shadows.
Brother, I don't mean to cut you off, brother. I'm not finished, and I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to cut you off. But scripts, again, I'm a linguist, so we don't deal with scripts. Scripts has nothing to do with the comparative linguistic method with genetically relating African languages with each other. It does.
And when you say genetically, bro, just to be honest, when you say genetically, that's kind of throwing me off because I do deal with biology and I understand you borrow some of those things, but when you saying that, it seems like that you're saying.
I'm not saying it. No, let's go back to who's saying it. Let me go back. I'm not saying it. In linguistics, when you take a linguistic course like I have done, we use genetic because it only is a borrowing. That's it. We don't.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When you deal with the people who's dealing with that, it seems like the racism is coming from them because it seems like what they're doing is they're separating people and certain how they language that they're using by genetics, by their close relationships to each other genetically, rather than actually dealing with the actual language.
I don't understand what you're saying. I think you should write a paper to a journal.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you can. See, did you see where I
mean, the whole separation thing as well. We got to understand that those people that come from those Indo-Eurasian people, they are not African people. So it's not. We're not separate. We're already separated. We're already a different people.
Yeah.
Right. Well, actually, and see that's what I'm saying. Like, if most people teach evolution, if they teach the out of African theory, right? And when you say even African, when it's everybody, you do have mutations that's outside of Africa, but these people are Africans who traveled outside of Africa and mutated. So
then you would have to say the same thing about a European as well. So are we Europeans the same people?
Excuse the panel. This is a linguistic conversation. Again, we are not talking about genetics. Okay, linguistics has nothing to do with genetics. Genetics cannot prove nothing. Genetics is nothing. We don't even consider genetics. Genetics has been. I can go to Dr. Sui Kiyata, who is anthropologist, biologist, right? That's what his field is. And he says that there is a lot of misinterpretations, lies, and racism in genetics. So I don't care for genetics. You can, that's your thing. I suggest you write your opinions in genetic journals to hear your point. But your point here is mute here. We're talking about linguistics, language phylums, language classifications, what methodology these language classifications have. We're not speaking about haplotypes, haplogroups. We don't care about that. That is nothing. That can be manipulated easy by Europeans, which they have done for years. We are even fighting back. You have black biologists who are fighting back against those racist biologists who are not fair when it comes to black African people. So here, brother, this is a linguistic conversation. And it seems like every time I have a linguistic conversation, especially with people who don't know about linguistics, they bring up biology because I use the word genetic. Again, I said that at the beginning of the show, right? The beginning of the show that historical linguists, we borrow from the phylogenetic tree, right? We borrow that. That's all we borrow. We don't borrow nothing else. We don't borrow the methodology of preparing haplogroups. We don't borrow chromosomes. We don't borrow none of that crap. We only borrow the phylogenetic tree. This is how you establish language phylums. That's how they do that with cognitive levels of comparing lexical statistics data. It's different methods. It's like 8 different methodologies in linguistics. And if you don't know about those methodologies, I'd rather for you to listen, because if you're a biologist, having a linguistic viewpoint, which is a multidisciplinary, which was pushed by Dr. Joe, which is pushed by today's scientists. If you have a multidisciplinary, brother, your work will be better. And when you submit to a paper, not on Facebook, not on YouTube, I'm talking about when you submit to a biological journal or something like that, your work will outshine a lot of people. You feel me? Then you don't got to pay other people either. I mean, it's more cheaper. You learn different disciplines. But like I said, brother, this is a linguistic conversation. And we have nothing to do with biology. I'm not a biologist. I don't care for it because it's racism. So I'd rather for people to let me finish. You can ask your questions. You can disagree. But like I always tell people, I want people to submit their opinions. Your opinion here doesn't matter to Netchanet. You must submit your work in a scientific publication. That will make you valid. I can care less what school you went to. I can care less if you jumped over trees with bamboo sticks. I don't care. Only thing I care is us black men. Is your opinion valid by submitting your work in a biological scientific publication? And this is the point of this show, is people are going on YouTube and Facebook implementing and disseminating inaccurate information to our people on purpose to promote a religion. See, this is what this is about, is promoting a religion, trying to get more Africans involved in their religion.
Right.
Right. And that was my thing, because you used the Bible. Can you give us an example in how they use the Bible to basically cause this? Can you this type of separation? Can you give us an example of that?
Okay. Hamito-Semitic. All right. Afro-Asiatic. The original name for Afro-Asiatic was what? Hamito-Semitic. They used the Bible, right? The Bible. That's a Bible word. Hamito. That's Hebrew. Semitic. Yep. And they put that as a language phylum, brother.
Yep.
You understand that? That is racism. Even Britannica said that they use Semitic biased, which means racism. They are biased. You understand? So Hamito-Semitic became a biblical language family. They was trying to put Bible. They were trying to put, and then they put Egyptian in it. That's what made everybody react. Even white people was like, "Hold up, y'all tripping." Even whites. So this is not just Netchanet, brother. This is the Encyclopedia Britannica. This is like high level online. I didn't feel like going into my notes. I'm writing for Ghana Journal of Linguistics, and that is, I've been doing that for 3.5 years. And I do that work 12 hours, 10 hours a day. I'm relating 6 languages and reconstructing Medu Neter. So when they do racism, this is the point of me submitting my work to attack Afro-Asiatic. Because nobody doing it. Everybody on Facebook like geeses and goose. Dr. Goose, right? Dr. Goose. Why the real workers are submitting that work, challenging the science head on in their journals. I'm writing and publishing in their journals, and I am attacking them directly, challenging them of Afro-Asiatic. The history of Afro-Asiatic, it was originally named Hamito-Semitic from the Bible. Racism. Period. That's racism. That's bias.
They religiously bullied their way to the top through their conquest and all those different things.
And then the linguists, the European linguists, even had to fight against that. And then they named it what? Afro-Asiatic. See? And then they renamed it again. It's a third name. Afri-Asian or a free Asian. So the importance of attacking Afri-Asian for black folk is because they are taking our classical high civilization, which existed in the Sudan all the way up to the Nile Valley. See, from inner Africa to all of that stretches all the way to North Africa, which really had a Saharan bridge from West Africa to the Nile Valley. It did not stretch outside. It stretched from the inner Africa, from West Africa, Central Africa to Nile Valley, from South Africa to Central Africa to Nubia, Sudan, Nile Valley, then went north to Nile Valley. We had nothing to do with Asia. We came in contact with the Asians in the 5th dynasty. See, we came in contact with them in the 5th dynasty, or a little bit earlier than that, for as or attestations go. Even though they always been traveling back and forth, people have been mixing. People already know everybody loves something that's foreign. We even make songs, foreigner. We like that. We like foreign.
Right, because the contact would have to be before 5th dynasty, because because we definitely see within the normal palette that there are Asiatic or what we see the Near Eastern type of archaeology just in that very palette. So it would have to be before the 5th dynasty.
No. I'm giving you a date of attested contact in inscriptions, meaning that they said it out their mouths. See, the normal palette, it just has the normal palette, and they can be Africans on the normal palette. You got to remember, we were warring with each other before we unified Kemet. Right. So those names on the normal palette, as I translate, doesn't translate to a foreigner, brother. We start mentioning foreigners in Kemet attestation, in Medu-Neter text, in the 5th dynasty with Pharaoh Jekati, or Nasut-Binti Jekati. He was leading raids in Western Asia. Then he was leading raids in Asia and came in contact with them. All right, so we have the reason, the point of all of this is that we are different. Our languages are not the same. I'm showing Afro-Asiatic to show you the method and how it was built, the history of it. You have to know the history of something before you can make an opinion. You have to know how it is built, what methodology built Afro-Asiatic before you can make an opinion about it. You have to know what motivated Afro-Asiatic, which was the Bible. You have to know that the purpose of it was to put Kemet, a black or inner African civilization, right? That's not even connected linguistically to no other languages of the world except for Black African languages. And then they put that in Asia too. And there are problems within the language family. I think that should be spoken, and this is the problem. And why people are so confused because of Afro-Asiatic. It makes it confusing.
I think it's a coming together. I think actually it's a coming together of different worlds. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I see there, because when you look at, like I say, when you look at certain pottery, you look at certain customs, masonry, a lot of those things are sharing of ideals of two people that we see from people that are from Asia and also Africa, and then also later on we start to see the Europeans come in.
They've been in, like you said. No, I agree. They've been in, but I didn't say that's not my argument. I'm saying clearly that they were first attested in Medu-Neter text in 5th dynasty. It's facts. Show me
Right,
some.
but I
Show me
mean,
where
when you
they're
say
testing it.
Afro-Asiatic, when you say Afro-Asiatic,
Yes, brother.
it's just basically just sort of like when you go, like there's a difference between when you're South and you're South Upper Egypt, and then when you go a little bit more up into the North, because what you find is a mixture of people that we see, and also genetically
What you
too.
going by why? Genetic wise or linguistic wise? What are we talking about?
Well, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say I'm saying of
You talking genetically?
Genetic wise and linguistic.
No, you're not talking. No, brother. You can't be talking linguistic because there's not a such thing as Afro-Asiatic. There's problems with Afro-Asiatic.
Well, hold on. This
you know
no.
that, right?
With this, when you say Afro-Asiatic, right?
You
When
see
you
the
say
encyclopedia?
you
Hold
say-
up, brother. Hold up, brother. Do you see this Encyclopedia Britannica? You're looking
Okay.
at it, right? You're
I
looking
can't.
at it,
It says my screen says on my screen right now. It says.
Hold on.
Go ahead. What does it say?
Hey, brother. We're talking to. All right. What did this say on the Encyclopedia Britannica here? What did this say? You can you read that for me?
Okay, let me read it. It says proving genetic relationship problems of eternal comparison.
Okay, right there, just right there, right. With my point of me sharing this with the people is that, do you know that Afro-Asiatic have problems, or you didn't know that? Did you know that?
Yeah. I mean, I understand that. I understand.
You understand it, so why you use it?
No, hold on. But this I don't even listen. Like even now, when the term that we use when we say Afro-Asiatic, these are terms that these people would never call themselves.
Correct. Yeah,
they would never even use these terms.
Yes, I agree.
And so we definitely use them, to because, like you say, of people.
No, hold up, brother. Hold up, brother. Before you go in, what you mean by we use? I don't use Afro-Asiatic.
No, I'm saying they can't.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the method. I don't agree with
I
it.
understand,
It doesn't exist.
brother.
So
I'm saying they came to be. I say we use. I'm saying we're the reason why we're saying Afro.
Who using it? Who using it?
No, I'm saying
it, we using it.
No, you don't use it, but I'm saying when, like, say for instance, we say Africa, right?
Right.
We are only saying Africa is because that's what's been put on us. That's what.
Who cares? Who cares? But who cares? The whole point of, hold up, brother. The whole point of the African scientists is to reconstruct African history, not just be lazy and go by what they say.
Right.
And
so I'm saying it's an acronym. It's basically us just
an acronym.
An acronym. It's basically us just using. It's basically just us just for better use using the now term of what is called now to explain now. Like when we say Africa, we know already.
Right, you're talking about in linguistics. You're talking about coinage terms. I'm not talking about using terms. Right. I can care less about those racist, inaccurate, problematic terms. I'm telling you now, I can care less. We are reconstructing what we call Sahara-Nubian language, which the Medu-Neter would say that will be called Taseti Kimtu, which is Black Nubian language follow. See, in the Black Nubian language follow is different than the weak Afro-Asiatic, because all of our branches within Sahara-Nubian or Black Nubian, all of our branches are genetically related, something that Afro-Asiatic is not. So I can care less. And I am of my right as a African linguist to discard Afro-Asiatic at will, because Afro-Asiatic has problematic internal classifications. It was built from lexical statistic methods. It is not agreed upon in no general consensus with even European linguists. And we here as precise African Black linguists, we will not accept it in no possible manner.
How did we evolve to different languages anyways? Because how did that take place?
Well, in my opinion, this is only assumption and this is only opinion. Now you're taking this to a biological standpoint of evolution, like you were speaking about.
Because it's related.
Right. It's related in a way, but it's not. This is why I tell you this, right? Okay, you can have a group of Africans that we can speak the same language. And when we come out of Africa, which have Africans already have mixed in with Neanderthals. So we don't know what language the Neanderthals or the other creatures were speaking before they was extinct. Remember, we were the ones that survived. You get me? So when we came out of Africa and we mixed in with different groups, we mixed in with other people that were already speaking, that evolved in that general zone. In linguistics, a language can dominate another language, right? A language becomes dominant. Whoever is the dominant caste of people, their language will dominate. Example, blacks in America. Blacks can't even speak that language, don't even know that language, don't even know where they come from as West African, don't even have a clue about how to speak. See,
but there's certain words
dealing with the
like
Abrahamic conquest into Africa. You see
correct.
what happened?
Yeah.
But it's unheard of even in language for a person to, like, for instance,
hold on, bro. You say even in language or what type of language?
Hold on, brother. Let me finish, brother. Let me finish. Like, for instance, there should be residue. There should be residue, even in the English language that will come from prior languages, even in the conquest. Like, for instance, the word shadow. Is that word shadow that we see? Is it a word that goes back to the languages that the Egyptians are
brother, you're speaking pseudo linguistics. That's what we call it, pseudo linguistics, right? And I'm not just saying pseudo as you see YouTube. I'm only saying it scientifically. Actually, being a pseudo linguist is nothing wrong with me, as long as you're not killing black folk in the street.
Okay, what's the language for what's the word for shadow in the Egyptian language? What's the word? I mean,
hey brother, I don't know what it's not a such thing as the Egyptian language.
I mean, not language. What would if the Egyptians want to say shadow?
You mean the Kemetui?
Yeah. What is it? What would it be?
Okay, the Kemetui would say ka or ka'i, and they have a lot of other words for shadow.
What about shatu? What about shatu?
Brother, I'm sorry, brother. You can't compare Medu Neter with English, but they are two different language phylums.
Well, hold on, because if you start to look at it, some of the certain that's why even with
hey brother, can I finish my conversation?
Go ahead,
I'm not interested in this conversation right here.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Because we're jumping over, we're using Afro-Asiatic,
and this is
and we're jumping. That's the pseudo. I can't.
And this is what I mean, brother. What we have to deal with when something is exposed, they just keep reaching for a reason to hang on to these Middle Eastern type people. They just keep reaching for a reason to hang on to them. Even you can break down everything down to the smallest notch, and they still keep reaching. And that's what I mean. I wanted to go into the whole, because I'm about to write a paper with a brother dealing with ethos alteration and through these Abrahamic conquests. This is what happened to our people. For instance, when you talk about the Yoruba people, you hear some of them, they became so Islamic that they started saying they're not even from Africa. They started saying that they from Mecca. So we start to see the dangers of this religious mindset.
Correct. You're right, brother. It's no way I can do comparative analysis like that. That is not even a correct method. That's not even a lateral. That's not even a multilateral comparison. That's just taking a word. That's like me going to the Chinese language family, and I'm using a slang word in Baltimore. Let me use a slang word from Baltimore. Let me say, let me use a crazy slang word. Euro. You say the word euro. Nobody know what that means but us. Euro, right? And then then you have a language in Indo-European that has Yule in it, and I say, oh well, we say Yule, and the Indo-European language say Yule, so that means we're related. That is fucking crazy.
That's exactly, and when you was talking about what Dr. Ricketti Amin was saying about us here, the way we speak. We are very creative people when it comes to language. We are very, very creative. I mean, we could live a block away and there's going to be some type of difference in the way we speak, possibly. Dylan, for instance, I'll deal with me. I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm from Harrisburg, so I'm from right down the road from Baltimore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We have a word we say John, and in Philly they say John. When you go to Atlanta, they say, oh, you trying John. And when I was at school in Arkansas, I had to tell him, yo, we're not saying the same thing. I'm not trying to crack no jokes on you. I know Joan for y'all mean crack a joke. For us, it just mean like a thing, like, oh, you see that Joan over there. You know what I'm saying? Like this means a specific type of thing. It could be a person. It could be anything. It's something miscellaneous, honestly.
Right. Yeah, that's Medu Natural you're speaking, but you're using English. You're using English and you turning it into like a Creole system. And you're making it into your own language with your own grammar. You're absolutely accurate, brother. My blessings are to you. More power to you, brother. I mean, it's very hard to discuss linguistics because people don't know linguistics, man. I mean, when they have conversations, they say crazy things like, people think linguistics is linguistic. You know, there's different types of linguistics. I hope people know that there are evolutionary linguistics. You have historical linguistics. You have comparative linguistics. It's different types. I am a historical linguist. I deal with languages historically. I am not a biologist. Don't come with me with biology questions because I don't fucking like biology. They are racist. I think all biology, all genetics is bullcrap, phony. It makes no logical sense. That's how I feel. I think that languages, which cannot change, genetics can mutate and change. But one thing about languages, brother,
and that's what I wanted. And I wanted to bring that up. I wanted to bring that up when the brother was on here because he said, "Aren't those people genetically related?" So then I was going to ask him, "Do you condone invasion?" You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you condone the fact that people bombarded their way into there?
Correct. Only thing I say, I want you to understand that linguistics is the best method to prove cultural groups.
Yes.
It's the best. This is why languages can never change, my brother. You know that, right?
Exactly.
Language stays itself from its birth to its death. Genetics don't do that. Genetics you can have a light-skinned looking white woman, she'll be black as you in her genetics. See what I mean? So it's different. But languages is different. Languages remain the same, even with borrowings. You can have a language that's so absorbed with borrowing, but still under the underlying factor that genetic relationship is different than a topological relationship, like Coptic. Coptic has a lot of Greek words and borrowings. But how would I know that Coptic is related to African languages? I would have to compare it using the historical comparative method, using sound regularity and sound correspondences, which is motivated by Grimm's law. We obey linguistic rules and laws when we are comparing languages. See what I mean?
Yes.
So we find these sound correspondences corresponding within the select basic vocabulary, and it corresponds in over 1,000 or 300 to 500 or whatever, and it's different sound correspondences. This means that according to Demodog linguistic text, according to Hodgson Joseph linguistic text, according to the Moose's linguistic textbook, this means that other explanations have to be explained, that they are genetic related. That's only fair. That's only fair. Because of Indo-Europeans can do it, when it comes to blacks, then everybody have an issue with that. See what I mean?
Right.
So I'm gonna show y'all how that method looks. I want to show y'all how it looks to compare numerous African languages instead of talking. You get me? Because some people talk, but they don't submit like you're doing. We got to submit papers. We got to attack these folks. We don't have to. I want people to know, the world to know on this show. We don't fucking have to accept nothing they do.
Right.
Anything. I don't care what they say. I don't care what term they made up.
And I just recently wrote, I have a website, Making Africa Reloaded. And I just wrote a small article, and I was dealing with true freedom for the African, true freedom for us as Africans, and dealing with the opposition's deception. And what you're dealing with, you trying to make our people think, you're trying to make them realize some things, because we've been duped, we've been bamboozled. So we gotta, it's up to brothers like us and sisters to write these things and push it to our people, to make them think, to make them realize what has happened with our people.
Yes, I agree. And to answer the elder brother that was on here that asked me, I mean, man, this is a linguistic conversation. Brother Donald, know, man, I be doing shows for 4 hours. I mean, it's long, but to answer your question directly, Hebrew has absolutely nothing to do with Africa. In no shape, form, or fashion. Actually, it's incomparable. I want to see someone who compares. I want to challenge. I'll give you $200. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it out there. Let's make a challenge. It's the coronavirus. Everyone need money. I will offer $200 for anybody, right? 200 free money. I'll PayPal 200 for you and pay the fees of travel of that fee through the PayPal engine to you, to your card. $200 from NetNet. If anybody in the world can scientifically submit a paper in the Ghana Journal of Linguistics, proven historically, remember, I practice historical linguistics, not evolutionary linguistics, historical, proving that Hebrew and Kikuyu is a Bantu language, so-called Bantu, because Bantu have the same issues that Afro-Asiatic, but let's, stay with contemporary. Let's say it's Bantu. Kikuyu is Bantu, and I'll give you $200 if you successfully submit a paper in the Ghana Journal of Linguistics proving that Kikuyu and Hebrew is genetically related scientifically. I'll give you $200. Offer is on the table now. Let's stop the bullshit, people. Let's stop it. Let's stop this crap. This Hebrew and Kikuyu is religiously motivated. This has nothing to do with languages. You want more Hebrew converts. That's what you want.
Right.
Let's be realistic.
Yep.
Can y'all? I give you $200 American dollars. 200, and I'm sure my man Donald going to add 200 more. So now we got $400. If anybody submit, improve with phonology and basic vocabulary, that Kikuyu and Hebrew, and morphology, 2 criteria to be met. It's genetically related to each other, with making Hebrew a Bantu language. I will give you $200 for a fact. But it has to go through a peer review, and it has to be scientific, and it has to be within a linguistic journal. So that's what I have to say. Until then, my brother Donald, my sister, you will not find nobody ever in the world that will ever submit some crap like that. You feel
only religious nuts, man. That's what this comes boiling down to.
So I'm putting up money. 200.
So for the people that's watching this, especially, I really don't play all of that religious brothers rushing our sisters and pushing their religious ideology on them, and especially religious ideology that comes from an oppressor. Right. So, so I often I have to get on a lot of sister statuses and really shut it down. So for the sisters that's watching, definitely for the sisters, I definitely take our Black African sisters very seriously. Mm-hmm. Please take heed to this video. Go back, fact check, do everything. This brother he encourages people to do that. Go seek the knowledge, take it in, and don't just read it, embody the knowledge, and then apply it and make the change necessary.
Can I just go over one more thing, or is this too late? If it's
no, absolutely. Go ahead.
All right, let's build. I want you to read it, bro, because your voice sounds so good. I like you, man. You can talk, and man, you're going to be great, man.
Thank you, brother. What is the what did you want me to read?
I'm about to share. I want you to read it, man. I like your voice, and you authoritative, man. You give it to him like it is. I like that. So do you see this here? This is from Dr. Obenga, all right? A linguistic professor.
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
See that? This is called genetic linguistic relationship between Egyptian, ancient Egyptian, and Coptic and modern Negro African languages.
Can you send that to me? I can't see it.
Oh, you want me to send it? You can't see
Yeah.
it? Oh man. You
Let me
can't see
see.
it?
Hold on. Yeah. Are you screen sharing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, dang, I can't. It's not popping up. Hold on.
Wow. Damn.
Oh, there we go. It's popping up.
All right. I want you to read. I want you to read the last paragraph, and we're going to go into Semitic and why it's not good. Why
Okay,
Semitic,
you don't got to highlight it. When you highlight it, I can't really see it. Could you zoom in a little bit too?
Zoom in. Okay. Let's see, brother. Is that good here?
Yep.
Perfect, man. Perfect.
So the work of American linguists, right?
Yes, sir.
The work of American linguist Professor Greenberg, particularly in connection with his Afro-Asiatic language family, cannot be regarded as invalidating the argument, for he ignored one vitally important methodological rule, namely the establishment of phonetic correspondence.
Correct. Just not even from Professor Job. This is from a white man. See that? A shame, right?
Right.
So you got brothers promoting something that is not even valid. It's embarrassing. Now,
And then the dude, he kind of gave him like a fake benefit of the doubt and at least call it a family when it's not even a family.
Yep, it's not a family. But that came from Fedor. We know that it's a phylum. If we say family, we probably be being nice,
right?
You know what I mean? But it's not a family. A family has to be established by genetic relationship. Now, this is what you was talking about, brother. Check this out. I want you to read that, brother.
Our problem, therefore, consists in establishing the existence of a genetic linguistic relationship between Egyptian, ancient Egyptian, and Coptic, and modern Negro African languages. It must be made quite clear at this stage that it is important not to confuse typological linguistics, relationship, and genetic linguistic relationship, which are two entirely different matters.
Correct.
Typological linguistic relationship is based on structural similarities.
Correct. Okay, you might like this one too.
Where you want me to start at?
In words.
Okay. In words and grammatical categories, and does not show whether the languages being compared can be traced to a common pre-dialectical source. Correct. Thus, if the grammatical categories only of Semitic and Egyptian, for example, are compared, the following results are obtained. Pronouns, the Semitic third person forms, sh, are totally lacking in Egyptian. Systems of conjugation prefixes, if you can help me with these words, we're here. Yaktubu, tatubu, etc., not found in Egyptian. Feminine inflection. Dual and Y.
Yep. Bilateral and
trilateral roots. Names of cardinal numbers 4, 5, and 9 not identical. On strictly linguistic grounds, there is no warrant for the assertion that a comparison of these languages indicates a common language of origin. People, please pay attention to that. For the fundamental reason that the typological comparative method does not reconstitute this common language of origin. At the most, typological comparison shows to which linguistic type the languages being compared belong.
Correct.
Linguistics teaches us that within a given linguistic type, there may be languages which belong to fundamentally different families. Modern English, which is an isolating language, has
Affinities.
Yeah, okay, I got you. I can see it. Affinities with Chinese from typological point of view. But from the genetic point of view, English and Chinese belong to two different language families, Indo-European and Sino-Austro-Asian.
Correct. I want to read this one.
Go ahead.
I should like to clarify one further notion that of a mixed language, which is in fact linguistic nonsense. See, it is evident, and this is from one of the best African linguistic professors ever to breathe. But let's continue. It is evident, for example, that French has undoubtedly been influenced by Germanic, but French is nevertheless not a mixed Germano-Latin language. French remains a Romance language belonging to the Indo-European family. Genetic linguistic relationship is established on the basis of sound law. Remember I said we go by what? Grimm's law, Brander's law. We go by laws. That's how I know when I'm talking to someone who don't know linguistics.
Right.
See, they start talking about accepting terms, and I'm like, what? We're not taught that in linguistics. We're taught to produce and demonstrate sound law. All right. So it says that is this. It's a basis of sound law. That is to say, enduring correspondences and regular similarities between complete forms, morphemes, and phonemes in the language being compared. Genetic relationship, as Jamslev wrote, is a function which links languages. It consists in fact that each element of expression in one language is linked by the function to an element of expression in another, and the function of each element is conditioned by what surrounds it and by the position it occupies in the word, meaning consonant 1 position, consonant 2 position. See? So we cannot find that between Hebrew and Kikuyu. That's why they are in two different phylums today. One is Kikuyu is within Bantu, and one is Hebrew is in Northwestern Semitic. Two different languages. If they were the same languages, so the same affinity, they will be in the same language phylum. And I'm saying if someone has research that can prove that wrong, I would love for the Hebrews to be black. I would love that. I would love for them to have African in them. But until the scientific evidence to prove that, and I'm giving $200 free. If you can't prove that, then you must stop the nonsense. It has to stop.
Yes.
You know, because that's dangerous for our people. Now let's see. Let's go into Semitic. All right. Let's go. Where is it? Semitic. It says Semitic. All right. I maintain that it will be in. Okay, here you go. See that? Oh, hold on. Damn it.
You good.
It's this little box in the way. What I'm trying. No, I'm not. All right, shoot. Okay. This is important here for people. This is why Gikuyu. This is why Bantu languages are not good to use. I tell people that Bantu is not good. It's not a good. It's just like Afro-Asiatic. It had problems internally, and no one can prove it. Everyone just talks. No one is submitting papers. Who is submitting papers to prove that? Why is no one submitting to scientific? They're claiming to know this. They're claiming to Hebrew experts. Why no Hebrew linguist that I know knows these people? So, man, you know, there's a lot of craziness going on in this community where, all right, let's read this. I say, well, this is Obenga. I maintain that it would be impossible, brothers and sisters. Now, see that? This is impossible. Because I tried it. I tried it with Hebrew and Igbo and couldn't compare it. It was impossible. I was struggling. I was like, God damn, shoot.
A lot of we have that problem too. A lot of brothers try to say Igbos is Hebrews and that their original language is Hebrew and all this nonsense. So that's another thing that we have to deal with. That's another act of being degenerate that we have to deal with.
The Igbo language, like all Black African languages derived from the Sudan. The Igbo people themselves in that oral tradition say they came from the Sudan.
Mm-hmm.
They call themselves Mbadi Mbashi, meaning family of blacks.
Woo!
And this comes from Dr. Ume, who is a Nzonzi. He's an initiate in the Igbo oral traditions, and he's a professor. So that comes from him, Professor Ume. So it says, I maintain that it would be impossible to demonstrate such a clear parallelism between Semitic, Berber, and Egyptian as we have just established between Egyptian and Negro African on the basis of this complete and precise form, which is attested in Egyptian about 2,450 indeed. Hebrew, for example, gives Tov for good and Tova goodness, Ra bad, Tasara badness, mischance. Let us consider the verbal now. He's going through all of the forms to prove that Semitic and Egyptian are two different. They belong in two totally different language forms. So I'm going to send you this piece. I want you to master this piece because this piece is a special piece that a lot of people don't know about. And I'm going to send you this. And once you study this, man, you got everything you need. Because
That's good looking out right there, brother. I'm going to need that.
You know, he's comparing. Look at the comparisons. This is ingenious. He's comparing Old Egyptian, Middle Egyptian, and Coptic. He's comparing morphological forms with Congo, Mbadi, Azza, Mbashi, ancient Egyptian Ibashi. But he's comparing. Look, he's comparing even the pronoun verbs, but they don't match with Semitic. Why? Right? Why? Now, this is the point where Gikuyu, because we know that a lot of Bantu language, so-called Bantu languages, are genetically related to Medu Neter. So Gikuyu is really genetically related to Medu Neter, not Hebrew. And what people are confusing is that the Hebrew script, they think that the script is the language, brother. So they are thinking that because the script may have been derived out of Africa. Yes, I can probably agree with that, and I might be wrong. But yes, they for heaven's sake, because we the first ones who invented writing, right, for trade. So I would believe that, and we have the writing older than Sumerian. We know that Hebrew is not derived from Sumerian, so it got to be derived from somewhere. I believe Hebrew is derived from the Medu Neter. It is just looking at different forms. Those people were enslaved. I believe those people, not enslaved, but they were workers in a certain area of Kemet. But we have like archaeological evidence. I went to the museum and seen this Astrakhan, where the Hebrews were workers, or Asiatics or whatever they are. They were workers. They was writing in that language of Semitic languages on the Astrakhan mixed with the Medu Neter. I believe they learned how to.
The people were often referred to as Habiru, meaning a wanderer, a nomad. Also,
yeah. In Akkadian, see, the problem is this. In Akkadian, it's not a such thing as that. In Akkadian. So a wanderer, what language you speaking about when you say wanderer?
So when I was looking it up, and it was dealing with these people from certain pockets up there in the Mediterranean area, near Sumer and different things like that. And they were labeling them as, it probably wasn't pronounced this way, but they have them listed as now as dealing with these people called Habiru. And it was a person who was like, it was denoting a person who was like an outlaw, a thug. These people was known for being thieves.
Yeah, but what language is that? What language can we go? When I'm asking this, right? What language can me and you go to show that that word exists? What language is that? We don't want to listen to what people title people. They call coinage terms.
Right.
You know what I mean, like for instance, people call the people of the Nile Valley Egyptians. See what I mean? When they were really a group of West African folk that was in the Nile Valley because the Sahara went through a desertification. The Sahara went through desertification, so the people of the Sahara went in different migratory ways to find oasis because the Sahara dried up. Once the Sahara dried up, the people of the Sahara came down and went through Sudan all the way through the lakes and jungles to get food, shelter, and then it came back up through Nile Valley. So I'm trying to understand Habitable, because I know the oldest Semitic language is Akkadian, and in Akkadian, no term exists. So I want to know where did that word come from? What language it come from?
I don't know the exact. I know it has it listed as it coming from like a West Semitic type of one of the West Semitic Indo-European type language.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I know it has it listed as right here.
All right, check it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
My bro, Donald, look that up. When you look it up, I guarantee you it won't exist.
Mm-hmm.
It won't exist. Nope.
But I know for a fact though, the people you were talking about, those are Asiatic people.
Right.
That you were just talking about.
Yeah, they were called Amu in the inscription. There is no proof that a Hebrew existed other than the Bible, other than when they called even in the Bible, it wasn't such thing as Hebrews. You know what I mean? Abraham was the first one who got called that when he crossed from which is in Samaria. He crossed and then went to Israel. When he came over to Israel, they say you are Hebrew, which means one who crosses. Now we find that in the Akkadian, one who crosses, but we have no race or group of people in the oldest Akkadian script. None. Mm-hmm. It don't exist. See what I mean? How it goes into people making up shit. See?
Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't refer to those people as a race of people. I would just look at that name as a label that was put on them.
Right, I agree with that. But you know now they say they're a race. You know that, right? The Jewish race.
Say that again. I couldn't hear you.
They call themselves a race now.
What, the Jews? Mm-hmm. Jewish people?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell it like Dr. John Henry Clark said. Anybody labeling that as an ethnic group is just as bad as a person saying that Christianity is an ethnic group.
Correct. See, so from the initial point of Hebrew, that's my point, is that it don't even exist.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It doesn't exist. It's no people called Hebrew. It's no race of people of Hebrew.
And I tell brothers that all the time. Even when you dealing, let's just when you dealing with an Arab, right? This is a mixed bunch of different Mediterranean, Middle Eastern people. Mm-hmm. But when you dealing with that, it's really no such thing. Like when you study the word, it just means it basically means the same thing. It's just dealing with a wanderer, a mixed person.
This guy named Mr. Johnson said that isn't true what he is saying. Paleo and pictograph Ibarim's language have been found. How so
you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, right?
Hey, brother, Michelle Johnson, brother, I want you to can you show me where the term we're talking about Hebrew, the word Hebrew. The oldest Semitic language is what, Michelle Johnson? Can you tell me what the oldest Semitic language is? I give him time to respond. What is the oldest Semitic language, Michelle Johnson?
Mm-hmm. And just a little, a hint. Brother Ned mentioned it just a few minutes ago.
Yep, I just mentioned it.
And that's why I knew, I was right on track with you. That's why I knew exactly what you was talking about.
Mm-hmm. So they playing game. We about to play religious. I like to play religious games. It's fun. So I like to have fun. So what I say is, okay, it's Hebrew. We are Hebrew, correct? That's what everybody say, right? We Hebrew. Who is the speaker? He said, who is the speaker? I vehemently agree with the speaker. Yes, a lot of people disagree with me, Michelle Johnson. Can you name the oldest Semitic language in the world right now? What is the oldest Semitic language in the world? Not writing script. I mean language. I don't care what Ibrahim means, brother. What is the oldest Semitic language? Script and writing and language. What is the oldest?
And that's just another variation of that is all of those different variations that made up Hebrew, Habiru, Abiru, all of that. That's all mean the same. It's just a wanderer, a nomad, desert dweller. That's it. It ain't got nothing to do with no race of people.
Correct. See, look, brother. Michelle Johnson, you're correct. Hebrew is an English word. You're correct.
Exactly.
You're correct. Now show me in Akkadian the word, and let's see what it means. And see if it means a group of people. Let's go.
Nope, I was just there. You ready for me to tell you?
No, bro. No, Donald. No, not you. I'm gonna see this, bro. I'm gonna see this, bro. I know you know. I'm gonna see this, bro.
Another hint. I just said it a few minutes ago.
Oh, I gotta go to the dictionary. Oh, I gotta go to the dictionary for you. Do we gotta go to dictionaries? It said you should care if you're a scholar. See, that's my point. Now let's go ahead, brother Donald. You go ahead. He's not trying to answer the question. Again, the term Hebrew is English. The brother is correct, right? But a beetle or habidu is what the brother Donald was talking about, and that term derived from the older term. It came through the language of Hebrew, and it's in an Arabic. It's in all of the Semitic languages, all the way back to the mother of Semitic languages, which is Akkadian.
Yep. And you ready is he ready to know what it is?
I don't know. He left. See? So I want to know. And what dictionary you're using from?
Let me go here. Let me go to give me 1 second here. Britannica. All right. So let me go here. All right, so we at the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yes, sir.
You can just type in Hapiru, Hapiru, or you can type in Habiru.
Correct.
And we're going to scroll down to where it really gives the definition of it at. It's if you see, it's probably a little section that says Palestine.
Let me see. Palestine. What? Do I gotta go to yours to see it?
You got it?
Oh, you saying just go to Britannica and type in with the P, Hapiru?
Yeah. Hapiru.
IRU. Okay. Gotcha. Because I got the credible Akkadian dictionary that's in a university open, so we're gonna.
Oh yeah, go. You can go to that too, bro.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, go to that. I'm gonna just read it what it says right here.
Go ahead.
So Semitic called the Habiru or Hapiru, or the Egyptian, they say they got it here, Apiru. The term Habiru, meaning outsiders, was applied to nomad, fugitives, bandits, as I emphasized, the outlaws, thieves, and workers of inferior status. The word is etymologically related to Hebrew garbage, and the relationship of the Habiru and aforementioned Hyksos to the Hebrews has long been debated. The Hebrews of the Habiru. So we know it is not a race. It is just an outsider, a thief or law. It's like it's almost like if we in our hood, right, in our neighborhood, and a brother come there that's not from there causing mischief. What is something that y'all would call him in Baltimore?
A whore.
There we go. Exactly. There we go. You see, you see, our ancient ancestors labeled these people as thugs and robbers. We do the same thing today.
Yeah.
Or you might hear our brothers from Chicago. This brother might be labeled as a goofy.
A goofy, yeah. Yeah. Hold on, bro. Let's go to the Semitic. Because remember, Britannica, they didn't put the language they got that from, bro. You know that, right?
Right.
So I want to know the language that they're using to even get that word from. As a linguist, that's my question. They just put Semitic.
Right.
It's not a such thing of a Semitic language. It doesn't exist. So where did they get that from? See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where did that come from? We want to know where that come from. All right, so let me put this in the Akkadian dictionary. People, let's see if that. Hey, bro, can I give you this this link so you can look up with me? I like this build.
Yeah.
Where do I put it in?
Are you able to send it to me on Facebook?
I sent it on here. This is the Hebrew dictionary link. Oh, you want
okay? Let me go. Hold on. Let me click it. Let's see. I can probably put it into here. I can just type this in on my computer, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let me go to. Let me just type it in right here.
Man, you about to look up the word Hebrew in the oldest Semitic language, so it's no excuse, right? I mean, do you agree with that, or if you disagree, we can do something else.
I agree, brother. I definitely agree.
Yeah, we're going to go to Acadia. We're not going to go to Britannica. They good, but they didn't put the language where they got it from. I want to know where it comes from.
Right.
Hold on, let me see. Oh, you want me to send it to your Facebook? Let me send it to your Facebook.
Yeah,
That'd be fast if I send it to your Facebook.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I ain't mean this to be so late.
Oh, nah, you good, brother.
But I just wanted people to know that.
Oh, she said the sister was asking, are you able to screen share it?
Yes. You want me to screen share it? Okay.
Yeah. And I got it right here too. It just popped up.
Oh, I bet.
So I'm gonna follow along with you when you break this down.
No, bro, Donald, you more advanced than that. I want you to look it up for me if I can't find it. You can look it up. All right.
All right. So it has search for word. Do I just type it in regular?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, people, I'm sharing the Akkadian dictionary. Hey, brother Donald, can you inform us what Akkadian is, please?
Got you. Akkadian is the oldest Semitic language.
Yes. So in Akkadian, I want to know, do the word Hebrew or those people, were they called that, or what was these people called? Haparu, or did they call themselves that? What did they call themselves? That's what I want to know. I want to know what they called themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because in Medu Neter, we never called nobody a Hebrew. So Apidu is not the word Hebrew. That's pseudo-linguistics. You got to show that, that's a borrowing. That is a borrowing from. We always had that word in Medu Neter. So now with the proof is that you got to prove that in Medu Neter that word is a borrowing, not if Hebrew is genetic related. You got to prove that the Medu Neter people during that time actually borrowed that word and used it in their text. So that is some work in a paper that they have to submit that we are waiting for. And we betted $200 that if you can prove that Hebrew and Kikuyu is genetically related through morphology and phonology, I'll give you $200. And number 3, we're looking up Akkadian because this is the oldest Semitic language, and we want to know what did they call themselves. So Or you got search for word. So people, can the people help me with the look for?
Yep. So,
All
all right, let me see here. I'm trying to see what we type in here. Logical. Do we just type the word in right here in the search bar?
Yep. So I typed in Hapiru here. Let's see. I typed in Hapiru. And it got Lusagaz, Hapiru, and it got human being. It got human being there. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It got a second one, right? To decamp, to become vagrant. Right? You got also Hapiru, and this means human being. All right.
Yep.
And we do
a person without a settled home wanders from place to place and lives by begging.
right. Now remember, people, that you have what we call homographs in every language. I hope y'all know this.
Mhm.
Homographs. Homographs are words that look the same but have genetically different entire roots. See what I mean? So
Mhm.
you might have a word Hapiru that means human being here. And then you have the word Hapiru right here that means to decamp, to become vibrant. And then if we let's look up some more Hapiru, they look the same, right? They look
Right.
just the same. Now
Right.
they are different words. What I'm saying is that in the Bible, the term that was used is not this term for human being in Akkadian. They are two different words.
Right.
They look the same, but they are two different words used in Akkadian in two different ways. See, so the word Abraham was called where they adopt with Ibrahim, whatever his name is, they called him a Iba, and Iba means to cross over. See, so let's look up Iba. They are confusing words. That's all. Let's look up. Matter of fact, let me see something. All right, here we go. You have in Akkadian Abratu, meaning human family, mankind, human populace, humanity, human populace. Right? This ain't the word Hebrew. I hope people know that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get me because this is text. I could go to text to prove that this word is different from the biblical term. They are not the same term. All right. You have Abru, meaning strong, robust, which is a feminine plural for populace, humanity. This is not the word Hebrew. Hold on. That's not the word Hebrew. We can go to the Bible and we can look up what was Abraham called in the Bible. And he was called a Ibra or something, a Ibiru or something like this. There's a word.
It was like IBIRU.
Matter of fact, you want to go to it? We can go to it. I got a database for Hebrew text.
Mm-hmm.
So we can just see it from the Hebrew. But as you see here, brother, you don't see no term indicating Hebrews existed in no type of form or fashion.
Right.
None. You see Abru, you see Abratu, human, family, noun, feminine. You have plural. This ain't the word. This ain't the word they're saying. This is what we call in linguistics a homograph or a lookalike. This all this is.
We got a brother in the chat saying, "Crazy, this is the craziness we be talking about." I'm gonna read this. What this brother just said. Mm-hmm. He said, "The Bible is Hebrew with Hebrew culture and language. Bantus actually have Torah in their culture." Wow.
Yes, we know that. But see, Michelle Johnson, we know that Bantu have Torah in their culture because most of us accepted Christianity.
Right.
In Hebrewism, especially in Africa, Michelle Johnson. And I agree with you. The Bible is Hebrew with Hebrew culture and language. Yes, I agree with 100% what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with that. So I want to know what's our problem here, because I agree with you. Now you're making totally sense. We know that the Bantus have Torah in their culture, and I want you to understand, Michelle Johnson, there's not a such thing as the Bantus. the term Bantu was created by a European brother. The term was created from a European to signify a language group and a people. You're not Bantus, brother. I want you to know that. You're not Bantus. In your language and culture, we are, but not according to the European linguistic classification. See what I mean? So I want you to understand, brother Michelle, that I agree with you 100% on that one. I agree 100%. Yes, sir. The Torah is in Bantu culture just because aerial diffusion.
Right.
I'm not debating with Divine Prospect know me. He asks me questions, brother. Michelle Johnson, Divine Prospect, he asks me questions on language. You know that, right? Michelle Johnson?
Right.
A lot of those people on Sinetta, I just was on Sinetta, I think. I think I was just on there. I just was on Sinetta showing Ujawu plagiarizing his book and Asar plagiarizing their books and stuff. Hold on, I can go to it. But yeah, we just went through the Akkadian. I don't see what brother, what is their argument? I mean, it's hard to follow them, man. That's what I don't be knowing what they're talking about.
It's all regurgitated nonsense, man.
Look at this, man. I mean, tell me something to put up, man. You want me? What can we put in here? I mean,
it's religious. It's not actual. It's not realistic.
All right, what can we put in, bro? Look, human. What can we put in now? I know you want something to put in. What can you put in? Haparu. Put in. What to put in? Like I said, brother, I don't even know that argument. What is they saying? What they are saying that they're Hebrews? Because he just said Hebrew is an English word. So if Hebrew, it doesn't exist. All right. What are you saying? He said that we are Hebrews, and then he said Hebrew is an English word. Okay, that means that it doesn't exist. Now, what does it say in the original text, the Hebraic text? Is it they saying they are Hebrew? Who was called the Hebrew? Who was called that in the biblical text? Are they relating to that? If you're relating to that, show us where we said that we were Hebrews in Medu-Neter text, in Nubian text. It's a lot of African text, Ethiopian text, in the Bantu language. You got many Bantu languages. I got thousands of Bantu languages. Show us where we called ourselves that. They called themselves Haparu. And that has nothing to do with the term Hebrew. They are two totally different words. The word in Akkadian looks like the word Hebrew, but they are Hebrew, but they are two different words. Let's go to the word to cross. Here you go. You see this? Look, bro. Look at this. All right. Look at this. Abaru, to cross, to go across. Remember when Ibrahim came from Ur, he went from Ur, and then he was called a what? One who crosses over. That's what he was called. He wasn't called the goddamn Haparu. That was crazy. He wasn't called that because he wasn't even Akkadian, according to the biblical text. He's not Akkadian. So I'm trying to understand what's their point, man. At that point, it's hard to argue because you can't say it's Abaru. This is the word they used in the Bible. So
I told you, bro, this is what they do. They just they make up stuff on the fly.
Let's go to the Bible. The Hebrew Bible at that. Let's look up some Hebrew. Let's look up the Hebrew Bible. Hey, we can go to Bible Hub. I like Bible Hub. All right. Let's go to Bible Hub. Okay, we can go to the Hebrew lexicon. We got lexicons. All right, we got the Strongs. We got something for them today. All right, what verse is we talking about Abraham, bro? When he crossed over. Let me see. Abraham came from Ur.
You
know what verse that? Because that's the verses they trying to use.
I don't even know the exact verse, but I don't know. Hold on, let me see here.
Abraham. It don't even say in the Bible that the people from Abraham is called Hebrews, man. That's why I say, man, you know, it's a lot of weird stuff, man. Weird stuff, man. People make up stuff, man. They smoke that weed, man, and just go off with it, man. You know, it's not good. So let's look up Abraham and Hebrew. Let's look up Hebrew, the word Hebrew. Let's look up that.
Yeah, it says something right here. It says it has in parentheses Ivri. It said it means to cross. It's spelled like IVRI. It said literally means to cross over. These people just be so much stuff these folks be making up, man.
Oh, this Deuteronomy. All right, this Hebrew men. If a fellow Hebrew. All right, now what word they're saying this is from? Ibri. Now look at this. This is how I said they be making stuff up. Look at this. It says it's an adjective and name of a people. Noun, right? This is strong concordance. It says Ibri. It didn't have definition. Perhaps descendant of Eber, also another name for an Israelite. What? Perhaps. Yo, I don't want nothing that say perhaps. This is after Abraham. So we have to really go to when they first used the word, and it was with Abraham. Right? So Abraham is here, 13, 14. Albirdi. He was called Albirdi.
Look, the brother, he said Abraham is a descendant of Eber, where Ibrahim comes from. Come on, bro.
Oh man, I don't even. I'm just saying, who was the first person? Where was the first time it was used? We can't go by after the fact. Where is the first? Let's see it. I'm trying to find it. I think it's in. Say Abraham and Cain, who had escaped and told Abraham the Abdi. Trying to find a word. See again, it goes here. Perhaps. See, it's not. That's why I say people.
It's disingenuous. It's religious rhetoric. It's disingenuous.
It doesn't exist. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Abraham don't exist. So this stuff it doesn't even matter. He doesn't exist. I'm sorry. None of those people in the text exist.
Hey, bro, that's true. Hey, bro, I'm just saying. I know that's true.
And people be trying to challenge me. I be saying it to Arabs that they get crazy. They be like, well, your brother you follow don't even exist, bro. I don't care about none of that.
It don't exist. And me and you right now, brother. Look, Habidu, and look where they go back to. The sharp chords. Watch this. Look at this. Follow me. Watch this. They go by the 5680E, right? They call him a Hebrew. Me and you witness this. Me and you, and the whole world witnessing this. This is the first time. It's Genesis 14. God didn't say that. Call a man Hebrew, but let's look at this. Look what they go back to. Perhaps. Now let's look up this word. Perhaps. I like looking up words. And let's go to the a linguistic etymology dictionary. All right. We're gonna go to a linguistic etymology dictionary. That's credible. One of the best. And we're gonna look up perhaps. We're gonna do some etymology. Now check this out. Perhaps. This is a linguistic dictionary, people. This is credible. This is
people. Yep, I use the same dictionary, bro.
Credible. And it says possibly late 15th century with adverbial genitive from earlier perhaps, from per, par, by, through, plural of hap, chance, or model of pre-adventure perchance, which now have been superseded by this word, possibly by chance. See, this is not definitive stuff.
And the reason why they put perhaps, right, and most of our people that are religious, they would have just walked over that word and wouldn't have paid any attention to it.
Correct.
But if you notice in these Abrahamic systems, they've lied so much, and the lie that they have told has been so high that they cannot provide the evidence to prove it. Nope. So they will put things like perhaps to make them feel better about their lies.
Right. Look at this. Perhaps descendant of Eba, also another name. They're just beginning to make shit up, like you said. It doesn't make logical sense. It doesn't, man. Perhaps a. Come on, man. This is look at this, man. It doesn't make sense. How? This is not a definite. See what I mean? This is not.
And it's funny, right? When we deal with African civilizations in Africa and culture, the evidence is right there. It's right there. Ancestors they left it right there for you.
Yep, in stone. Yes.
It's no games to be played. It ain't no if, ands, but about it. It's either it is or it's not.
Yep. Now look at this. Abaru. Now, in the Bible, right? They didn't use this word to cross. Did they use this? Or maybe I'm wrong. I believe he crossed over. Hold on, let's look up when Abraham crossed over. Let's look up one. Like you said, he didn't exist, but I like messing with. I like going through it sometimes. Abraham crossed over. Abraham crossed over.
Look, not a brother playing colorism. He said Ibrahim was melanated.
Who cares? He didn't even exist. But look, watch this. I mean, how can somebody be melanated and it never existed? But
right, and then he tried to use colorism. You sound like the European.
Now look at this, right? My brother once it says, hold on. Yeah, we right, bro. It came 14, the first verse that mentions the word, because God didn't call people Hebrew at all. He called man and woman Adam. And that is derived actually from that's a borrowing from the Semitic. No, the Semitic borrowed from the Nubians. See, so that we know. I
remember you went in on that too.
That's a borrowing. Abraham, offspring, many of the other side, who lived on the other side of Jordan. No, man, yeah, it's not a such thing. No one never called ancestor.
That's right, Chi. That's right. Forget Abraham. Exactly. That's right. That's my brother from Ghana right there.
That's right. Look, the word Hebrew in the Hebrew language is ivri. The root letters are used to mean crossover or pass through. See? It is speculated that Abraham earned the name Ivri, or one that has traversed, to be referring to the fact that he came from the other side of the river. He and his family traveled from close to the root face. So brother, he was actually called in the Bible. Let's go to the Akkadian dictionary. He wasn't called the human part, Hebrew. He was called this here. To cross, to go cross.
Right.
This where the word Abaru. See, look, Hebrew at the bottom. Avra, to cross. Now, this is the comparisons with Hebrew with Akkadian. So he never was called Haparu. So I'm trying. That's what I'll be trying to tell people. Where was he called a Haparu? He was called a one who crosses over, which he was called a Ivri, and that's is Iberu right here in Akkadian. Remember, I said that you have homographs in different languages. Homographs are words that are. Let's look up homograph. Homographs are words that look the same but have different meanings.
Yep.
Okay. Here you go. Homograph. Let's pronounce it. All right. It says now each of two or more words spelled the same, but not necessarily pronounced the same, and having different meanings and origins. So the term Haparu and the term Ibru are two different words within Akkadian itself.
Yep.
See what I mean? That's linguistics, brother.
These brothers want to be Indo-Eurasian so bad.
I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I mean, we just showed clearly where we looked in the Hebrew, we looked in the first usages of that term in the Torah, and it says that it means that Abraham crossed over. No one was called a Hebrew. Till later, it became a coinage term. To later.
Mm-hmm.
See, now when we get to the Akkadian, this is where it gets scientific, because now we got to keep in mind homographs. So
Right.
is Haparu in Hebrew the same word? No, it's not. In Akkadian, Hebrew, we can go to the Akkadian dictionary. We got the facts. Ibadu is compared with Hebrew. The linguist is here compared it with to cross. This was the name of Abraham, one who crosses over, or to cross. He crossed over. He was given this title. That's the title he was given. He wasn't given the title of. We're gonna go. Let's go to perform another search. Let's go to human. Let's go to human. Mankind. He wasn't given this title. This is a different word. It looks like Hebrew, but it's not the same. This is a homograph, and this is where people don't understand. A homograph only is a word.
And all of this hijacking that these people be doing, or just putting themselves in the front seat. This comes from that theological supremacy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's written all over in Abrahamic systems. It's that theological supremacy.
Hey, let's go to Haparu. Human being, vagrant. It's a human being, a sort of vagrant human or something. And actually, it's Lusagas. That's what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
But it then the Akkadian, it has it got that with the bottom diacritic. In the top is look like a macron would go is a stretch of the vowel, which is harpro. In harpro, this is a vagrant, and it doesn't mean human being. This means a sort of vagrant. And Abraham was not called this. This is what we call a look-alike or a sound-alike. It sounds like the other terms, but it's different. Now let's go to part 2. However, to decamp or to become vagrant again. Now he wasn't called that. He was called to cross. So we know that Haparu, Hiparu, Ibritu, Ibri are all different words that look the same and sound the same in Akkadian. See that? No one ever was called this in Akkadian, ever. No one can show us this in Akkadian.
Mm-hmm. Now we have, what's this? We have another Abrahamic follower comments, says sad, just so sad. Yeah, it's sad that you follow the oppressor's religion. That's what's sad.
Hey, Yalam Ben Israel, can you show me in Akkadian where the people were called Haparu? We got the Akkadian dictionary open now, just to let you know, and it doesn't mean what you're saying. I mean, we're looking at it. The definitions is haparu, to decamp, and then we have to become vagrant, and then we got hapiru, and this means a sort of vagrant, right? In original pronunciation is really lusagas.
The thing is, the people, these characters they follow just don't exist. This is the problem that they have, and they don't want to accept that these people don't exist.
That's true, but let's give them a benefit of the doubt, brother Don. Let's not be so harsh on them.
Right.
Let's ask them to give us so we can understand them. And we look in here. This is Akkadian. Where is it at? I can't find Habaru. Meaning people. It's not here. It doesn't mean that. People are making it up, man. Look, men. We got men, to tattoo. We got men, people. What can we name? Human being. What we gonna put? Human being. Let's put human being. Nothing comes up. Salmit Kokadi. That doesn't come up. What can we say, brother? Let's look up Habaru. Maybe we can go Habiru. Let's look up Habaru. Maybe something will come up there. This means husband. This is Haru. This means Karabaru. And this is not even with a ha. This is like a ha. Habaru. And it means husband. This doesn't mean people. Again, the term Habaru doesn't exist as people in Akkadian. It doesn't exist. I'm challenging. I got the Akkadian dictionary open, man. I'm challenging people. I want people to say nothing. Go here, go there. I'm open-minded, and no one is sending me nowhere. And I'm trying to understand. I mean, I'm on here for 2 hours of my time. I want someone to let me know where can I go at to find where Haparu or whatever word or homograph you're using was indicated to black folks. Where? See?
Yeah, we know.
Where's that? So we know that it doesn't exist. Any other words you want to look up, bro? Let's look up. We can look up Abraham. You know that he don't even exist in Akkadian. Abraham doesn't exist in Akkadian either, because he didn't exist it. That's why he doesn't exist in Akkadian. We know
Hey,
that.
I was going to say too. You know, if we can also set up another show with you on here and go in deep about the Igbo people, right?
Yeah.
About the language and different. I know you kind of you grazed over it a little bit while we was talking, but you know that could be another important topic that we need to go through, because brothers just seem to be so hooked on Hebrew. Igbo derives from Hebrew. I don't know why they keep saying stuff like that.
Yep. Well, I mean, anybody on the panel that want to put in an entry, the challenge, or I mean, who we waiting for? Are we waiting for them to say that, put in that for Akkadian? This is Akkadian people. This is Akkadian. We got the thing open for y'all. So where is it at? Why can't nobody never show nobody? I don't understand.
Right. Because none of it exists. It's all garbage. Hold on, let me see. Somebody just. Nah, brother. No, it's a brother that's in there. We're not sending you no link because you're gonna come in here yelling and all that. Ain't got time for that. But that was man, brother Netanyahu, you went in, man. You went in as you always do.
Oh, that's Jeremiah Judo. Yeah, I heard. I seen. I think 7,000. I seen him on Sinetta talking real ignorant. In
yeah, you see, look, he's using profanity now. He says to shut the F up. Well, nah, brother, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna keep waking the people up.
Hey, Jeremiah Judah, man, I have a lot of respect for the Hebrew Israelites, man. I have a lot of respect for all of y'all, man. You know what I mean? And I love y'all. Y'all my brothers, y'all my brothers and sisters, man. You know,
right.
And I have nothing against y'all. I just don't see it in the living Semitic languages. I don't go by biblical because I know that those characters didn't ever exist.
See, look, we was just being, we just being respectful. Now he comments and says, "Y'all sleep." Okay.
I want to hear what he got. Yeah, I want to hear him. I like him. I want to hear what he got to say.
Hey, sis, you still there?
Yeah, I'm gonna send him the link.
Yeah, I want to hear this, brother. I'm gonna learn from this brother, man.
Reach out to the brother Divine Presby. He's one of our scholars that can help us. Hey, brother, you ain't just hear what this man just said? He said he reaches out to him for the answers.
I had proof of it on Sarnetta. He called me, asked me questions on grammar. So I'm not. Why would I look like asking him something?
Now you doing what white supremacists doing, brother? You don't have to watch the show. That's
Oh, bro, you're doing a good job. I'm proud of you. Now you're doing what white supremacists doing. What's that? What white supremacists doing? I want to know what do you mean? What he doing? What white supremacists doing?
Sis, you already know he's gonna come in here yelling.
I'm gonna mute my I'm gonna mute my thing.
Yeah.
Those are not your ancestors, and they don't exist. It's religion. It's fairy tale. I don't know what else to tell you, brother. Show me the dead bodies then. Where the dead bodies at?
I got one. It said Abraham was from Ur, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I have Ur inscriptions.
Oh Lord.
There go the brother. Peace, brother.
Shalom, out.
Peace.
How you doing?
Who am I talking to? Who is your brother?
You talking to Netanyahu, brother?
Who is you? Netter who?
Netanyahu, brother. That's who you talking to.
Netter. Let's decipher the word netter.
I told you, sis. I told you, sis. We don't got the time for it.
Hold on, he good. Decipher it, brother.
Hey, first of all, Jeremiah, you need to sit your little sensitive ass down, brother. I'm coming with respect.
No, that's you. You be wild.
You got three people watching this whole goddamn broadcast, bro. Chill out.
We hear you, bro. We hear you.
You got three people. No. Bro, is you gonna be quiet? Because it's obvious you sit here and you want to attack Hebrew Israelite doctrine 24/7, but then when I
deal with the whole Abrahamic theology,
bro. Now here go the challenge. Show me what spiritual.
Hey, sis. As soon as he go off to another subject, get him out.
Bro.
Sis,
Like
as soon
I
as he
said,
goes to another
let me
subject,
talk to the brother that won't talk to me, because you always run. You run your mouth, but then when I call your ass out,
I never run from nothing, brother.
Up.
But I'm not gonna be debating fairy tale.
Bro, you can sit down with your little bitty ass platform like you got something going on over here, bro.
He did. Why
you mad at this little bitty ass platform, bro? You ain't run, bro. You should be happy that I'm even on this motherfucker. Now,
Obviously, you got something going on if you over here.
Watching.
So
get him out, sis. Get him out. That's why I said don't bring him in. Get him out. Get him out. Get the other brother too. Get the other brother out too. Get the other brother out too.
Like I said, bro. Sit your little. Hey, like I said, bro. Let me talk to the brother that got some sense. Because it's obvious you're a running man.
I'm not never running
here. Hey, Jeremiah,
you're a running man.
I can't come in, bro.
Right.
Huh?
Hey.
I can't come in.
Hey, it's like soon as I speak, this sister ass nigga who always talking shit about Hebrew don't got shit to fall back on.
Hey, sis, are you just gonna leave him on her? Or you gonna take him out?
He good.
No, I'm saying,
all right, go ahead. No. I'm not talking about you, G Consciousness. I'm not talking about you.
Hey, brother Donald, let the brother.
Yeah, that's what I said. Go ahead. If you're gonna have the conversation with you, go ahead.
I want to hear it.
Hey, this dude's scared. Now I came in calm and you interrupted me. Now I'm gonna go back to being calm. You just sit back and take notes, young man. You're only 26 years old and you think you know more than what you know. You don't know shit.
All right.
Now I want to ask you, Netanyahu.
Yes, sir.
Netanyahu.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, what is your complaints about Hebrew Israelites?
Nothing. I love the Hebrew Israelite brothers. Nothing.
Because like I said, every day I look on Facebook. Every day I look on Facebook, I see a Santawa complaining about Hebrew Israelite doctrine. And you know what? The difference between me and her and me and this dude over here who call himself QD or whatever he call himself, I don't sit here and bash on comedics, atheists, evolutionists every day. I try to teach the ones who agree with me.
Right.
Now, so my thing is, if you have so much of a problem with Hebrews, why don't you teach us something better? All I hear is y'all doing bitching and complaining. So what do you have better for us? I'm gonna ask Jeremiah QD this question, then I'm gonna ask Asantara. Teach me some African spirituality.
Well, that's
right now.
When did I say? Hold on. Let me talk. Brother, when did you hear me say I follow any spirituality?
Bro.
No. Answer my question because you have to answer that question because.
All right. I'm gonna tell you this right now, young man. You sit here, you talk about Africa, you talk about how you love Africa so much, and I always talk about African spirituality. So if you're against African spirituality, why ain't I hearing you going against it? Why all I hear is you talk about Hebrew Israelites?
What do you want me to go against?
No. Don't ask me what I want you to go against. I said, I'm gonna say it to you again. If you don't fuck with African, if you don't.
When did I say? When did I say that? I just said that I don't follow anything. I don't believe in anything.
Hey, young man. So you're atheist. Okay, so now we're gonna put you in the atheist realm.
What's the atheist? There's 7 different.
Are you gonna let me see this? This is why they want to come on here.
No, you said something, so I'm asking you how am I atheist? There's 7 different types.
No, I tell you what. You tell me what type of atheist
you call me an atheist. You're assuming I'm an atheist. So I'm asking you, which one am I? There's 7 different types.
Hey, little young nigga. I tell you what.
Hold on. How you're older? You're older than me, and I have never. I didn't call you out your name. I didn't call you a nigga. So why are you calling me a nigga?
Because guess what? You're a coon ass fucking nigga. You know why? Because you could sit here and talk shit about Hebrew Israelites that you.
We were talking about language. We were talking about language.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Let me know when I can speak. I'm not gonna yell at this stupid ass. Go ahead. Let me know when I can speak. You let me know.
Hey, this is not too bad, man. I thought if you follow Hebrew Israelite doctrine, doesn't it?
Hold on, nothing. I seen your breakdown on Sunday. I seen that.
Yeah,
I seen that. I got respect for that.
I know.
But this guy right here in the middle, he wants to do, what he wants to do, he wants to constantly attack Hebrew Israelites, and then we try to pin his ass down on something. Oh, I don't believe in this.
When.
Hey, I tell you what do you stand for? What
do you mean? What do I stand for?
No, don't act like you don't stand for nothing. What your main doctrine is to attack Hebrew Israelites?
No, it's not.
That's not. I don't care about Abraham. I don't care about Abrahamism. It's a fairy tale. It doesn't exist.
Are you in the atheism? Are you a Pan-African? What are you? You don't
a Pan-African just means a person that stands for African unity. That's not a religion.
You don't stand for nothing. Now you can take your little 3 followers and shut the fuck up. Or
do I need a belief? Do I need a belief system to stand? I have legs.
Yeah, you need something for you to attack somebody else's belief system and spirituality and their ancestors.
We were talking about language.
Bro. Hey, look, like I said, bro, you know what? I don't have no respect for you. I have the respect for Asantara more than you because at least Asantara try to stand on something. I have to have a belief to be respected. No, you have to have. So why do you attack everybody else's belief then? Why?
I'm
talking about Hebrews.
I go at the religious. I go at the religious systems that enslaved my people. What's wrong with that?
Okay, so guess what? So now what? Okay, now we're gonna go to Africa then. Now we're gonna go to Africa.
Why you ain't going out for Egypt? They enslaved the Northerners.
Right.
That's some punk ass shit. This little young nigga.
I don't have nothing to do. Brother. Hold on, brother. I'm from Western Central Sub-Saharan Africa.
I'm gonna get off this punk ass platform because you have no respect. You don't stand for nothing. All you
what do I have to? No. Hold on.
You don't stand for nothing.
So, are you telling me I have to have a belief to be able to stand? Yeah, mute him. Get him. Yo, sis, get him out. Stop bringing these quacks in here.
No, I asked.
No. Ain't nobody asking for you. Hey, dude, ain't nobody. And he asked for me. You see? Nobody know your punk ass.
Calm down, bro.
Sit your gay ass up, nigga.
Who?
You, Q.
Who you talking to? It's Netanyahu, bro. Who you talking to?
He talking to
This
Jeremiah.
Ned, bro. Who you talking to like that, bro?
Like he always did.
Yo, sis, get him out. Sis, what is you doing? Get him out. Get him out, sis. What is you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Get him out, sis. Don't bring him in here no more. Unless they ask both of us. Don't bring them in here.
No, I thought he was gonna be on some old
No, brother, he just want to come in here. He just want to come in here and yell and get mad because I don't have a belief. I don't know why brothers get mad about that.
Hey, what he tried to do is he had more respect for Netta because he ain't had nothing to say about. He had no rebuttal for you.
Right.
So he tried to get on to Jeremiah to try to keep his ego stroked. You know what I'm saying? As an old head, that's dumb as fuck. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
And with the other brother, what were you talking about asking me why don't I go at Egyptians? What did you asking me that for?
Right. So I
want to know why are you asking me that?
Right. So I've had this conversation with you prior to Jeremiah, you know what I'm saying, in the back chats, right? And so one of the most religious people that there is in the world is also those who are the Egyptian paradigm and the ancient Egyptians. And so are you comparing Nile Valley cultural concepts to Abrahamic religion fairy tales? Well, I wouldn't say, because they all write literature, and in their literature, whether if you might feel there's some mythos there, they all just convey something. Like when you look
do you understand Nile Valley literature?
Well, from the literature that I'm saying, as far as like when you talk about the overthrowing of APAP.
Which one? Come again?
When you talk about the overthrowing of APAP,
okay.
I translated that the other day. You can look at that now.
Right. So yeah, we could definitely look at that. And so this what they deal with literature. You know what I'm saying? And so basically, it's information that's conveying a message. You know what I'm saying? Like if or it might be symbolism that conveys a message. And so when I said that, when I had asked you guys, and I said, well, now you become to act like what white supremacists is, because like I'm not an Israelite, right?
So you're gonna label us as white supremacists after these? Hold on. I want to ask you a question, before you continue. So you're gonna label us as acting like white supremacists after these Abrahamic religion nuts invaded into Africa and enslaved your people, and now you blame us for pushing it out?
No, that's not. Hold on, listen, hold fast, bro, because I don't come in that the matter. Jeremiah, he comes in that matter to where he gonna.
Yeah. I see that. I'm asking you a question.
No, what I'm saying is this is that I'm not an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? I'm an African. You know what I'm saying? Or what they say, or what people say today, what Africans is. My ancestors come from the continent, and so I take the paradigm of, I believe in the biblical text is I'm fashioned to that whole historical content rather than some of the stories that we see just in Africa of my ancestors.
You said historical content of what?
Of what we see just in the biblical text of what's written there. Certain things that I hold to a lot of those things. Mainly, I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
What about it though? So are you saying Abraham is a historical person?
I believe Abraham was a historical person. I can't.
Can you show me? Can you show me him, please? Because I've looked through all of that, and we have found no evidence that this man existed.
Right.
Excuse this conversation. Excuse me, two brothers. As an older brother, this conversation it leads nowhere unless the brother who is trying to prove that Abraham is real. You must, brother, do excavations. You must get into the scientific field to prove this stuff. You can't prove it here. You can't prove it on Facebook, brother. You have to go to
right. But
hold up, brother. You have to go proving it to Jeremiah here. It won't get you no proving.
No, I'm not trying to listen, brother. I'm not trying to listen. I'm not.
Hold on. Hey, look. Hey, brother, how about you can listen. You can just hit me up on Facebook or something. Right. Or you can just come into the group, because this video was intended for, and as it has happened, the brother went in on he went in on language. He broke it down so that we can dispose of these myths that other people push out.
Right. So at least, brother, if y'all can, with all due respect, because if you came to my panel, I'm gonna let you brothers finish. You know what I'm saying? So, let me finish my thought, and I got you. OG, Netta Neb, I've dealt with you before in the Armor Rock Squad. I've talked with you before. I don't know if you remember, they used to call me LeBron James. I used to call in the Armor Rock Squad with it. Sometimes even with you was with Ngozi and sometimes too, just as well. So I know you probably don't remember me, but this is what I'm saying.
Right.
Okay. The disrespect come in at, and this is why brothers get upset with you guys. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because first of all, when you start looking at ancient Near East culture,
Oh man, bro.
See what I'm saying? Like, and this is what this brother Jeremiah was talking about, because you're not gonna get too many subscribers or people listening to you if you won't take time with people on your platforms to show them respect. And so if you want to grow your platform, then that's something that you might want to learn to do, Jeremiah. Just keeping it honest with you and the sister.
Who did you hear disrespect to? You heard me disrespect him, or you heard him call me out my name?
No, you just did it right now, bro.
How did I do that? Because I just emphasized how this video was about language, and he just told you that you're not going to prove none of that on here. So I don't know why you diving into a conversation that's dealing with that.
You just said, bro, this is what you just said. You just said, and see what you did was you got up here and you used Netanel, right, to try to prove your point and play games to be with the slickery. When he
how did I play games about the slickery?
Well, hold on, bro.
Listen, y'all, hey, bro, man, come on, bro. It sounds like you older than the brother Jeremiah, man. You know, bro. You know that to teach effectively, these young brothers like Jeremiah, man, they are very intelligent. I told Team Osiris and goes, them young brothers over there, this young brother, this young sister, they are very intelligent. Help them, brother. No, hold on, brother. Hey, brother. Can somebody see with me? I am the star of this show. I came on the show to speak about language, brother. This ain't your show, so you gotta respect the platform. That's all. It can be errors with the show, but help the brother. And when you help him, don't help him in public. You go and say, brother, you should do this, and I'm gonna help you push your show. I shared his show to thousands of people, man. I shared it, man. I want to help the brother for free. So don't call into the young brother, try to put him down, bro. This show is about language, yo. This show is about Hebrew being genetically related to Kikuyu, brother. They're saying that Kikuyu, that Hebrew is a Bantu language, brother. Those two languages of Kikuyu, Bantu, and Hebrew are exactly the same, brother. So the brother did a show and got a linguistic associate, man. Who wouldn't do that? So come on, man. You know, you can't, beat up the brother and talk to the brother, call the brother niggas, and come on, man. I don't want to hear that. I thought the brother 7,000 was coming on the show to be respectful. You help the young brother, man. You talking to the young brother like he's like nothing.
I deal with it all the time, bro. This is all the time, bro. It's like black African intelligence is taboo now. You know what I'm saying?
No, man. I don't. I'm thinking we going to get into a. I will come now. I want to come on your show all the time. I'm gonna share your show. When I get off, man, I'm gonna share your show to like 50,000 people, man. I'm gonna share it to the Science of Herbalism group that got over 147,000 people. I'm gonna share your stuff, man. I'm gonna send it to Sadnetta. I'm gonna send it to I got a lot of other people that I deal with. I'm gonna send it to Dr. Raketti Ammon. I'm gonna send it to some priestesses. I'm gonna send it to Hirukai New. They have shows. Come on, man. They trying to disrespect your platform. I like this platform. It's classy. It's honestly one of the best platforms I ever been on. You know what I mean? I just like how your show is. I like it, and I'm gonna promote it all the time. Why would you call in talking negative because he disagree? You know how many people disagree with me, man? You know what I mean? Like call me names, disagree with me, and I don't care. Only thing I say is, you proving Abraham existed, man. That's a dead argument here. Is no way we can deal with that here. How? This ain't a journal. You will have to do excavations. He don't know the deepness of science. He don't know how deep it goes, man. They are religious, like you said, man. And honestly, I think you're doing the right thing. You're getting people who deal with the languages on here. And what I got from the young brother, is that you can get people who have different views. There's nothing wrong with that. And when a brother had a different view, you didn't say nothing bad. You know what I mean? So come on, man. That's crazy, man, to call in because they think you're attacking. I don't think you're attacking. I think you're telling the truth. Abraham doesn't exist.
I embrace blunt truth. I embrace reality. I don't seek fairy tale comfort. I don't seek after those type of things. That's just not what I do.
All right. But we're dealing with text transliterations. We on this show today. I was proud of the show. I love it, man. I will come on here anytime and stay up with y'all young bucks, man. You know what I mean? I'm getting old, but I can try to stay up with y'all, and we build. In any linguistic questions, man, the show was about Hebrew and Gikui. It wasn't about biology. It wasn't about haplogroups, who cares about genetics, man? Like, really, man, I don't give a fuck about no biology or no genetics. They always wrong all the time. I don't care about it. So, and they be having biased information like linguistics. So, Hebrew, the whole point of the show is Hebrew is not a Bantu language. They are two different language families. I showed that Hebrew is in a Semitic language family. And then it's in a language family that is not properly genetically related. It had problems with it. Everybody's saying this on the show. Mm-hmm. So when they talk Afro-Asiatic, you could just go back to the show, edit it, and show where we went through step for step, where not your name, but a white man said it. A white person said that it has problems. Afro-Asiatic have problems. That means what, brother? We should not use it because those problems of Afro-Asiatic was not fixed. It wasn't fixed. Where is it fixed at? What scientific journal we can go to prove scientifically the Afro-Asiatic problems that it has is fixed? No one can do that. So that means that we cannot talk about that no more. Black should not talk. Black shouldn't be calling people in the Nile Valley Egyptians either. They are not Egypt. They never called themselves Egyptian in the history of the Medu in the history of it. We only use Egyptian for contemporary usage. So someone else who don't know can easily identify. But those people never called themselves Egyptian. There's not a such thing as the Egyptian language. There's not a such thing as taking an English word and comparing it with a goddamn language family that's all the way in Hawaii. Some goddamn that shit is stupid, and it has to stop, man. And I'm proud of this show, and I want to share more information, but we'll be up like 4:00. You know what I mean? But I appreciate the show, man. Any questions, man? Any linguistic questions? Any actual questions of the actual topic? That's what religious people do, man. They take a topic and they go to Abraham. We ain't even fucking talking about Abraham. Who cares about Abraham, man?
Right.
Who cares about DNA, man? You know how much DNA changes, man? You can be in one country, migrate to another country, your whole DNA start to change and shit. Mm-hmm. So look, man, I'm into what multidisciplinary. That's what Dr. Theophile Obenga wanted us to do. He wanted us to be good at genetics. Mm-hmm. He wanted us to be good at linguistics. He wanted us to be good at knowing the oral traditions of Africa. He wanted us to be good at what you doing. You can write in a paper, social sciences. He wants us to be good at making medicines, engineering, mathematics.
Right.
And that's what we have to do, man. We have to attack the European people and their racism, not on Facebook, right? Not on YouTube, but we have to directly attack the journals because that's where their information is at. That's where the universities are taking the information to teach the people courses from. They are teaching them about Afro-Asiatic in big-time colleges. And those big-time colleges are depending on journals for that information. You know what I mean? So we must create. And like you said, Donald, me being one of the first black men to do something is special. But people don't like me because of that, and they don't want me to speak and come on shows and stuff like that because some of the information they have, like for instance, Niger Congo, man. Niger Congo is another language family that is not established. That is worse than Afroasiatic. People don't know this. They're calling themselves Niger Congo. I'll be like, yo, Niger Congo doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Afroasiatic doesn't exist, man. These are figments of people's imagination. Nilo-Saharan doesn't exist. Bantu doesn't exist. They don't. We have to make and build our own language family. And if we don't, man, we're going to be ruled by them for a very long time because language is the unifying factor of all. Look at the example of the Hebrews revival of modern Hebrew language. When you look at that example, pay close attention. I learned this not from me. I learned this from Dr. Raketti Ahmed. She said, when you look at that example, the Europeans, the Jews, just as the young sister here, with wisdom Shakur, she said, yeah, it got some Yiddish and some other crap, and that's true. So what they did was reconstruct it, and then the Jews that came in, they united with the other Jews. Some of the Jews were speaking Arabic, so they dropped Arabic and became a national people by unifying their language.
Yep.
That's why when the slaves came over here, the first thing they did was, if you speak your language, nigga, we gonna cut your motherfucking tongue off. You feel that? Because language is the unifying factor. If we continue to speak all of these different as English language, we are not going to unite. I don't give a fuck how many guns you got. I don't care which you have. We are not going to unite with each other.
And then here come this dude interrupted me. So
who's that? Who's yo? Who playing that? Who's playing that?
You know what I'm saying? What do he?
Hello?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, brother. So what y'all brothers and sisters has done, y'all might have 3 views today, brother. Because always remember this, brother. You know, everything takes time and growth. Don't worry about what people say. You know, you got 3. That's the best. You don't want a bunch of bullshit around you. You want the best, even if it's few. Even if it's 1 or 2. You want the best around you. You don't want a bunch of fake motherfuckers around you pumping you up. And then when you lose a debate or something like that, or when your paper don't get accepted, they leave you hanging. So you want the real beside you. And it is always a few real people. So don't worry about all of that. All of that is going to come. It's going to come through time. You still young. Y'all are a young team. And y'all have my full support, my full donation and support. Y'all need it. Anything y'all need. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna introduce you to Dr. Sati. I'm gonna give you Dr. Raketti email. I'm gonna give you Dr. Mario Beatty email. I'm gonna give you Dr. Tadika email, and I'm gonna give you Dr. Campbell email. I'm gonna give y'all 5 professors emails. So I'm gonna tell them that I referred you to them, not your name. Referred you to them.
That's love, bro.
So I'm not trying to build nobody down because I don't know if I'm gonna live today or tomorrow. I'm trying to help brothers and sisters up so y'all can keep growing and be powerful and powerful and powerful. Do shit that other people ain't doing. Other people are on Facebook making lies. No, y'all prepare yourself for real war. I'm telling y'all youngins now, it's real war. We are at war. We are at war. Intellectual war is the most dangerous war because that's the war of the mind.
Yep.
So you can have 1,000 black people killing our own kind because it's the war of the mind. See what I mean? So y'all must remember one thing. Y'all are at war 24/7. 24/7, the white man want to kill you. And they have our own people that want to kill us with them. See? So now we know this. So the next step, what is the next step for blacks? What can we do, man, to fight this? You know what we can do? Let's become skilled. See, this is why we are at, because we are not skilled anymore. We are not engineers anymore. We're not scientists anymore. We're rappers. We're strippers. We're stripper slash rappers. We're rappers slash killers. We're thugs slash killing thugs slash stripper faggy. We all of those crazy things. But when have you seen a young black man get promoted who is a black scientist? When have when has you seen a black physicist like Dr. Joe, other than Tyson DeGracie? I'm talking about youngins. Where are they at? This is what we need, man. We need a multidisciplinary young man and woman. What I mean by multidisciplinary, where I get this from, I got this from Dr. Joe and my teacher, Dr. Ricchetti. You have to know linguistics, genetics, how to make medicine, how to grow food. These are most important for us, right? Creating new scientific ideas, challenging and reconstructing African history. That's what we have to.
That's right.
So this is what I expect from y'all. Y'all young is here. I expect this from y'all. And I want this done within, I'm gonna give y'all 2 years to get it done. I want this whole panel, one of you, because I know all y'all are smart. I want to see one of you promote and submit your work to a scientific journal. That's what I want you to do. That will impress me. The field you are in, biology, submit in that journal to challenge people. Let's start challenging these journals, man. Scientifically. Let's learn how to write again. Some blacks don't even know how to write, man. Look at Asar Imhotep. He got caught for plagiarism, and I told him, man, I said, man, you're not writing correctly. He got mad at me, called me names, and then he got caught plagiarizing text. He don't know how to write. See, he doesn't know how to even write. People don't even know how to write. Our people don't even know how to write abstracts. So let's get back into studying APA standard writing. Let's get back to the pen. The pen is mightier than the sword idea right now. And let's start attacking these lies that's disseminated to our people.
Mm-hmm.
And then we use these shows right here to get our colleagues and let's bust them up. Let's bust their ass up. Let's bust their ass. Let's make them mad. You'll make people even madder when you submit your work to a journal.
That's right. Yeah, man. So that was man, that was an excellent build, brother. Excellent. When do you think we can set up the thing dealing with the Igbos and stuff like that?
Man, anytime, man. We can set that up. I'm gonna find the comparisons. I compared Hebrew with Igbo. And man, it took me 8 months to find 12 items, bro. 8 months. And I came to the realization, I said, 8 months, I have to say that they are not related to each other. Because I couldn't do anything else. I only did compare like 12 with 6 items. Basic 12 with 6 basic items. Let me see something. I'm gonna share this right here. All right. Y'all really get it in. I didn't know y'all build like that. Y'all be up late, and I like that. Let's see. Let me show an example of the linguistic method with a European. Because I got used to showing my stuff with Europeans because people don't believe it if you're black. So I got to show my work with white people work. which I hate. I'm showing my. Oh my god. Hold up. All right. You see this, brother?
Yes.
I know you're familiar with this, but other might don't be. This is the comparative linguistic method, man. All right. This is what we do. You see Medu Nature. This is the MDC on your left with my arrow at. And you see these are called, what these called, Donald? These terms here. What these called?
I can't see your thing.
All right. You see my arrow now?
Yeah, you talking about the glyph marks?
Yeah, the glyph marks, right? We know that's Medu Nature.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, what is these? All of it look the same. So what is these called when they look the same?
Look the same, but it's just the homograph.
Correct. It's a homographic series, right? Now, in parentheses, brother, what's this in parentheses, and why I'm not comparing this? What is this in parentheses? See that?
Talking about just the chem.
You see the chem with no vowel. Chem, and what's that?
Let's see.
I know you know.
Yeah, you just talking about the Damn. I can't even think about the word right now.
If you don't know, that's how I learned. I learned like you. I didn't know. Now look, this is called transliteration.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
I told you, you know. You already know what it is. See? So transliteration is, I'm gonna highlight, is there. You see that? I can't put them in here. I can't put this here because this don't represent sound.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this box, what's this, brother? What's that? What's this? This asterisk. See that?
No, I can't see it.
Oh, you can't see it? All right. What's that asterisk? You see that star right there?
Mm-hmm.
What's that? What's that called?
Hold on. Talking about where it says chem at?
Inside the box, though. We in the living boxes.
You're dealing with the I guess the reconstructive sound of it.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
You're correct. The next box is demotic. What we're dealing with here. What's that? What we're dealing with in demotic.
That's another different type of reconstruction, but
correct. But go ahead. Continue.
Oh no. I was done after that.
All right. Now we must reconstruct. All right. Because this don't represent sound. So I would have to reconstruct, brother. So what I did was reconstruct demotic with Coptic. Then I put the Coptic here. Then I reconstructed Medu Nature with the living Coptic, the living Nubian, the living Dinka, and the living Dogon languages. You see that? So what I write this in, you see these diacritics is Shari SIL font. Shari SIL font. All right. So what I would do is I would take these middle vowels. You see, look at this vowel in the middle here. I would take the vowel in the middle and I would take all of them and collect them. And I would say, what have the most vowel height? Or I would say, what is the oldest language? So whatever the oldest language, I would reconstruct, or I would say whoever got the highest vowel height. I would do a reconstruction method, which that's why this came up to count. See? So we use this, and we use all of this in the comparative linguistic method. What is in red, brother? You know this. I know you know, because you always build it. What is this, brother, in red? Tell me what this in red. You know
it. Dealing with the letter. Dealing with the H, the ham.
Now, what's this in red? Why is this red? You see how it's red here, it's red there, it's red here, it's red here, it's red. What is that?
I guess that would be the common sound in them.
Correct. They call it sound correspondences.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we talked about it's a difference between topological methods and genetic method.
Right.
This is the genetic method. This was not done with Afro-Asiatic language. See what I mean? So this method is totally different than the method they use for Afro-Asiatic. So this method right here, bro, you'll have a K, a K, a K, a R, a C, a G. All right. In Nubian, anytime you see a R, you will see a K in Egyptian. Let's challenge this. You have Medunecha Kem, black, and then you have Nubian Dongalawi, Erda, Mia. This means that the K has a lenition. It became lighter in Nubian Dongalawi because of the environment of the U sound. The U in Nubian Dongalawi made the K a R sound. Look at that. A K again. This means B black. And then you have a Nubian Uder Merriman, B black. And then you have Kamet, a black stone mineral. And then you have Uder, meaning black substance. You see the regularity? Every time you see a K is a R. Every time you see a K is a R. Every time you see a K is a R. Every time you see a K is a R. Every time you see a K is a R. With form and meaning, the definition is exactly the same.
Yep. Consistent.
That's called what we call genetic, brother. Systematic regularity. And this is the Grimm's law. So let's go to a white man's. Look at a white man's. Look at his shit compared to mine. Look at that. For real, this is a
that girl look crazy.
The best scientists in the world are black, man. The best.
That's a fact.
Look at this. I'm comparing mine with his. Let's compare. He compared Bobangi, Kinyarwanda, Luba, Nyamwezi, Swahili, and Zulu. But in his comparisons, for some reason, they are missing slots of cognates. He had 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, but he does a good job. You see where he has B, 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 B. He has a same type of B, and then this B turned into a W in Swahili, and then this W turned into a B in Zulu. But if you see mine, you see systematic, and you see systematic in his too. But I was just showing mine to show y'all that this is the definition of what we call a systematic genetic relationship. This has to happen for linguists to consider something genetically related. All right. So we go to the bottom here. I even take the definitions out, and I go here. Y'all see how consistent this is.
Right.
Look at that. K, KK, and you see the X. You know, an X sound like a K. It's just an aspirated like a ch, like a k. And you have k, then you have k. All of that is within the same type of sound. So you can have sound changes that can happen sporadically. And in this case of Demotic, this sound change of X happens sporadically. It's like in when you today, if you come to Baltimore, you hear some people say Baltimore with the D. You hear people don't even say it with the D. You hear people say Baltimore, don't even say it with the T or D. And then you have some people that say Baltimore with the L. So these sound changes can happen as well within the languages that we are comparing as well as the language we are using today as well too. So you see these systematic sound correspondence. And this is what determines what we call a genetic relationship between languages. So this is in table C, my whole stuff right there. So as we go down, let's compare. Table C, this is mine's. All right, and this is the white man's. All right. Mine's look better.
Yeah, the consistency level on yours is a lot more higher, way more higher.
Yeah. So I'm gonna show a little bit. Let me show a little bit. Let me show a little bit more. I didn't want to show this. screenshot anyway. Because I like you. Let's go here. Look at this, man. Look at that. You see the consistent. Now we just seen the K's, correct? We just seen the K's.
Yep.
We seen the Vela K's. Now look, we're going to the dental stops. Look at the systematic. Every time you see a D here, you see a J here in Coptic, and you see a D in Nubian Dongolawi. Every time you see a D in Medu Neter, you see a J in Coptic, and then you see a D in Nubian Dongolawi. Every time you see a D in Medu Neter, you see a J in Coptic, you see a D in Nubian Dongolawi, and so forth. And then you see these definitions. Emission of seed. You see the hieroglyphic and its transliteration here. And then you see a penis dripping. And this means daja in emission of seed. And this means semen in Coptic. And then in Nubian Dongolawi, you had DT, which means drip, fall, and drops. See? And then you have Southwestern Dinka, you have a change right here sporadically, and it says sperm. And then you have testicles in Dogon Tomaso, which sperm come from testicles. So you have what we call a semantic extension with these historical linguistic, and this is how you come with historical etymology by comparing.
And we had one more question. A brother's asking. He's asking. He said. He said, can the transliteration method be used the same for bilateral and trilateral with Medu Neter?
No.
Okay.
No. Transliterations. Okay. Ask that brother. Can he go to any grammar book? Do he have a grammar book open, or do I have to go to the grammar book for him?
He should be. I think
he available.
Nah, he don't. Yeah, he don't got it.
Okay. I was gonna ask him. Do he know Medu Neter grammar? Do he know how to translate and transliterate grammar? Medu Neter. Let me pull up a transliteration I just did. I'm sorry. Let me pull up something I just did. Let's go. Let's understand that here. I want everyone to understand that point because I want y'all to pass peer review. Let me stop sharing. Y'all might see something in my pictures that I don't want nobody to see. Shoot. Okay. I translated the book of APEC. And I translated the book of APEC. No, not there. Oh, y'all see? Oh, yeah, y'all see that. So I translated this for a priestess. And it's part 3. The Majot Papyrus Scroll of Overthrowing APAC, Philological Reinterpretation by Student and Linguistic Social National, part 2. Second and third semester student within Institute of Command Instructor Dr. Ricardo. Source translation TLA. I'm giving an error where it starts and it says N-E-N. You see the walking read N-E with the determinative of the walking. Then you have a dot in the middle with a circle, which is the sun. You have a hawk on a standard, which represents that this is a deity. So it says Ini En Ra Ka. And that says he Ra returns or Ra comes tall. Because this means tall. Ka. So this says Ra comes tall, meaning he's unreachable, he's tall. So let's look at the transliterations. Y'all looking at the actual text, but let's look at the translate. These are transliterations. I'm highlighting. Hold on. These are transliterations here. That's considered transliterations, people. All right. Transliterations do not, whether they are biliteral, triliteral, quadriliteral, uniliteral, who gives a fuck? They don't represent languages. See that? This is not a language. This is a system of transliterations. All right. This system doesn't have vowels in it. All of these are consonant sounds. All of them. Every last, even the A's. With the A you looking at is not a vowel. I hope y'all know that. The A is not a vowel y'all looking at. The W is a semi-vowel. That's not even a full vowel. The A you're looking at is an arm. It's actually a guttural in the IPA. So you're not looking at vowels. So you're looking at all consonants. So this means that it cannot be pronounced. So if something can be pronounced, like the grammar book said, the transliteration system is purely what? Conventional. It cannot be mistaken as a phonological representation. So let me go to a linguistic textbook for y'all. Hold on, I'm gonna stop sharing because I don't want people to see craziness in my stuff.
You good,
bro. Let's see. Okay, let's go to Pierce. This is let's see. Right. This is from Pierce. No, I'm sorry. Okay, this is perfect. I might gotta make it bigger. This is an Egyptian linguistic book. This is chapter 2.6.13, and this is by Pierce 1999. Let me share it with the group. I'm giving y'all this. Let me share this with the group. Pierce 1999. Give y'all this. I want y'all to enjoy this text. All right. Yeah, y'all gonna enjoy it. Y'all gonna learn a lot about linguistics and things that shouldn't be, things that should be. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. I'm about to send this to y'all. This from this book, Egyptian Phonology, an introduction to the phonology of a dead language. See, Mandanetra is dead. So we can't use dead languages because we don't know the phonological system of it. So if we go to 2. Let me see.
Hold on, what's this comment say? You said the modern. Brother, we dealt with that earlier, brother. We dealt with that. The brother dealt with that earlier.
See, borrowings into, look at that. Borrowings into Egyptian. Y'all will learn a lot from this text. I want y'all to read this text, and y'all got to upswing a lot of people if y'all do. It's like cheating. I'm teaching y'all something that should be paid for, really. But I don't care because I want young scholars to do better than me. I want y'all to attack them. If something happened to me, then, we have other, look at this, Northwest Semitic languages and scripts. Y'all will know a lot about stuff here. So, Akkadian and Cuneiform, you see that? Akkadian and Cuneiform scripts, Coptic dictionary, how to use an Egyptian or Coptic dictionary. He's teaching you a lot of stuff that you need to know in this text. So this is Pierce 1999. I'm about to send this to y'all now. This is cheating, so don't let nobody know. I hope this is a private, because I don't even want people to see this. They ain't gonna understand it anyway. Let me see. How the heck I get to? Oh, I'm gonna put it in y'all chat. Oh, brother Donald, I'm gonna put it in your Facebook here.
Okay.
All right. Do your thing with that. I'll tell you, just study that. But this is the text I'm reading from here. All right. This is 2.613. And Donald, can you read the first sentence? Well,
you got to zoom in some more, brother. I can't see it.
Oh, gosh. Might be a little blurry. I'm sorry.
where it starts off at the fact, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact cannot be stressed enough that the transcription is purely conventional. Is that conventional right there?
Correct.
Yeah, conventional. The Egyptological transcription must be interpreted as a phonological and even less as a phonetic representation.
Correct. So what that's telling us, it says the fact cannot be stressed enough. This is matter of fact, this chapter is interpreting transcription symbols. It's different types of transliteration systems. So this says the fact cannot be stressed enough that the transcription is purely conventional. See that? The Egyptological transcription must not be interpreted as a phonological and even less as a phonetic representation. You see that? People, it's not phonetic. So how can you compare something that's not phonetic with something that is phonetic? See what I mean? And then he gives us an example. He gives you an example of Ra, sun. The symbol R denotes a liquid whose exact original pronunciation is what? Disputed. See? This is not how the Medu Neter was pronounced, man. We don't know how it was pronounced because vowels can change the consonant sounds. So we don't know how these words were pronounced. We only can, get the consonants from it from transcribing the Greek. You feel me? Like, for example, the Greek and the Palermo stone had the Greek, had the Demotic, and it had the Medu Neter. So we know how what the consonants are in written, but we don't know how it was pronounced. That's the whole thing.
Dang.
So
stuff right there, bro.
Yeah, so that's
Hold on,
not.
let me make sure that. Hey, sis, you still there? She fell. I hope she ain't fall asleep, man.
Yeah, she probably fell out because linguistics is very boring, man.
Yo, sis.
Which sister?
Oh, yeah, sis. I know you there. I'm saying because I know sis. She gotta because we about to cut the the show about over now.
I'm here.
All right.
I'm coming in late. Y'all know I have bad reception out here, but I'm listening. I'm enjoying this.
Really? Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. We're glad we have you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this brother Net right here is awesome linguist. Awesome linguist.
Yes.
And represents Black African people very well.
Yes, he does. I've been listening the whole time.
So, brother, man, I think it's a lot to digest. I'm gonna look over all the information you gave me too. And as I said, I'm not a linguist, but I like it though. I like studying. I'm a reader. I'm an avid reader. I love reading and learning.
That's amazing. I told you I will teach you free.
Absolutely, bro.
The brother said, okay, so Dawood said the modern Hebrew language was compiled a few years back, but ancient Hebrew is spoken in Africa today under many dialects. The original Hebrew was based from the Aramaic script.
We dealt with that already. Then, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just going over some of the comments I see.
Yeah, Aramaic is Semitic.
Right. It's Semitic. We're not. Yeah, that does not apply to us.
Right. So Hebrew is in, like we discussed earlier, that Hebrew is a Northwestern Semitic.
Northwestern Semitic, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in a whole different entire language family.
Right.
Or branch within a different language family than what Black African language is supposedly in.
Right.
So they are different language phylums.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why we are separated in Africa.
Right.
These language phylums is the key to our liberation. Right? Because if we have a one colloquial language, we'll be united like the Jews did with the Hebrew, modern Hebrew language.
Right.
They all became united. And this is why the oppressor cut off our tongue when a slave tried to speak his indigenous language.
Right.
It is a unifying factor. We must begin with language.
That's
and
right.
it must end with language too.
We always say that we always say the key to understanding who we are begins in the language of the people.
Yes.
Yep.
That is what identifies us. That is our marker. Outside of genetics as well, but the language has everything to do with what is.
It's also, you know, because communication is key, and it also establishes the essence of the people's thinking.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct. So I enjoyed this show, man. I'll come on every day if y'all can.
Oh, of course.
And
I'd love to have you.
And I would teach y'all linguistics for free because of my brother Donald. I like that brother. He's he always stirring up the pot of trouble. I like that. I like stirring up trouble. You know what I mean? Because
I'm gonna keep. You know, I'm gonna always speak blunt truth, man. It's our people keep running away from the reality. I don't run away from reality. I don't do that. I don't run away from
That's
that.
what we deal with. We gotta deal with logic. We can't. You know, this is enough of this. Has been, you know, more than enough time for our people to come to the reality of self.
Right.
And this is what we are. We have to deal with truth. This is not opinion. And you know, for some of us, you know, our audience, those that come in, you know, they deal with that. We're not here. We don't do what we do based upon emotions or opinions. We have to deal with truth and facts.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
So you know the brother saying Hebrew is what did he say, brother? Bantu, you know. I'm not sure what's up with that, but you know, them brothers is just wrong. You know, and they should stop that. They should stop.
They just need to come. They just need to come and be taught properly. Yeah, that's all.
True. That's true.
You know, put the egos aside and come and actually learn. There's nothing wrong with saying you don't know something. I'd rather, you know, you come, listen, try to attempt to learn. We all don't know anything. I don't know everything. But at least, you know, make the attempt and make the effort to try to expand your thinking.
Right.
And stop trying to be so debatable when you are only in one area.
Right.
Understanding. And we know that. No.
That's true.
Our history supersedes anything that they find within, you know, these so-called scriptures of the Bible. That's not dealing with who we are. It has absolutely no relevance of who we are as a people to a certain degree.
Right. So in defense of my Hebrew brothers, because I want my Hebrew
we love our Hebrew brothers.
Yeah. Listen, check it out. Right? I like what you said. It's time to. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just make up something because they deal with fairy tales. So I'm gonna make up a fairy tale so we can connect. So this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that Abraham was black, and then after I say Abraham was black, this is a fairy tale. We know this is not true. So we're gonna say a fairy tale. So I'm gonna say Abraham was black. Okay. Then I'm gonna say the next thing we're gonna say is Hebrew language, right? If they can submit, my Hebrew brothers, this Netchanab, y'all know me well. If y'all can submit to a scientific journal proving that Hebrew and Gikuyu is genetically related, I will give you $200 American. See? So that's the challenge from Netchanab. And number two is that I love y'all. And I'm gonna agree with y'all on one thing. Just to my Hebrew brothers. I'm gonna agree with y'all that there are similarities with Gikuyu in Hebrew. They are. But the thing is that similarities. Man, Brother Donald can explain that. I want you to explain similarities before we get off the show, brother.
The similarities is just dealing with the topological aspect of linguistics. So it is not something that is genetic, nor is it something that is even consistent, as you pointed out when you were dealing with the Igbo language in Hebrew. Correct. How it took you about 8 months to only find 5 similarities?
12
similarities. You know, it took you that long to find the 12 similarities, which shows that if anybody was to say that these are the same languages or anything like that, that is completely illogical, and it is a stretch to attach yourself to something that is theological.
Correct. So I'm gonna agree with them one thing. My agreement is that yes, they have similarities. Yes, yeah, they have similarities only because of what? Aerial diffusion.
Yep.
Topological similarities does not establish a genetic relationship. It doesn't.
Right.
And if I'm wrong, damn, the Hebrews about to get $200 because they're going to submit their work. So I don't think Donald is attacking the Hebrew brothers. I think that we are pushing them to become more scientific. And once they cannot submit to scientific data, and once they look at themselves and say, damn, man, this shit is not scientific, like the sister said, now it's time to teach more. So I agree with Brother Donald in his panel. I agree with all of you. I disagree that the Hebrew is Gikuyu or genetically related because they are two different language families. It doesn't even make logical sense for something biblical to be with something that's Black African who existed in paleo history. We are people who existed in where the dinosaurs probably was at. So come on, man. So we got to understand that we always had contact with those people. And before, like the brother was saying, before the 5th dynasty, that's true. But the first attestations I seen was in that's written about them is where we start doing trade with them in the Western Asia hemisphere.
Right.
So it always was coming through the mixtures. We always was mixed with them because they came from Africa too. A long time ago, they came from Africa, but they start mixing. See, they started, Black Africans started looking at other women, I guess killing, pillaging, and said, "Hey, she, this weird looking monkey motherfucker look good. Let me get her." And mixed in. And this is how the genetics and stuff start changing you away from the equator. Your vitamin D levels lower. Your skin becomes lighter. All of
eating different.
Correct. Yep. Eating meats, more meats from a tropical to a meat to a environmental factor to everything changes. The water, everything changes. So your genetics can change. So linguistics don't change. Language, I hear brothers say language change all the time. That's a lie. Language cannot change. Language stays the same from birth to death. English will be English from birth to death. The only thing changes in language is topological similarities. That's it. Yep. Topological changes in how you pronounce words, and that's nothing. That's only surface information, surface data. All right. So the brother Donald and everybody on this panel, man, have good points. Even the people who disagreed, I like it because it's getting brothers to think. That's all, and sisters to think. So respect from Net and Ned, man. Peace and blessings.
All right, peace, brother. I'm gonna link you, man. I'm gonna contact you.
Yes, peace.
Peace.